Welcome back. We are the Bonsai Movie Crew.
We are.
It's our special 69th episode.
We got real weird with it.
Yeah, we got real weird with it. It's our fucking Christmas episode. Woohoo.
Hence the hats.
Yeah. We should be wearing dildos on our heads instead.
But it had to be fucking Christmas time.
I mean, we could make you a Santa unicorn.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Rather not.
Or just put dildos on our Santa hats.
Get those ones that you just
Instead of
fling
the
and
balls on the end.
stick around
Yeah.
the head.
Put real balls.
Real
Yeah.
testes.
Yeah.
Coming
You know, like
down.
the
Where's
ones
it
they
at?
put
This
on
side?
trucks.
I love that
Put
you
them
guys are
on
coming
the
up with these
No,
ideas
get the ones
now.
that they
Yeah,
put
it's a little late, but we could have done on
We
next
could have
year.
done
Get the ones that they made
Well,
into
next year won't be
stress
our
balls.
69th episode. Maybe it'll be...
169.
We'd have to
Yeah,
skip.
that's a
Or,
lot.
well, no, we'd have to... It'd be like 2 years. We'd probably have to skip somewhere in there a lot. And I don't think it's going to work out.
Fuck them, we'll figure one out.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Don't forget to check out all our social stuff. I haven't been uploading to Rumble because, Rumble sucks. And I don't really like Rumble. And it's a waste of time. And I don't
think
want
it's
to.
more of a conservative forum for
Oh, it's
people to...
definitely very conservative.
Well, I think it's more like people want to go on there and bitch about the government and things. Like, I don't think it's meant for
a lot of
something like
conspiracy
this.
theory stuff. And I think we got like... I think our most viewed one was like 13 views. Fuck that. I don't even waste my time with that shit.
Yeah.
You know, so... Anyway, so we're not doing Rumble anymore. Not that you care because you're probably watching us on YouTube anyway, or listening to us on Spotify or whatever. Also, don't forget about our other stuff. I already said that. You know, let's move on. Let's get into our creator profile this week. Can anybody guess who it is?
Chevy Chase?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
So
He's
yeah.
a nice guy.
Yeah, sure. If you like mental abuse, he's a nice guy.
Yeah. I mean, if
Glutton
you're into
for
that.
punishment. Yeah, if you're a glutton for punishment. I'll read Chevy Chase, and then Karen, you can do the movie. How about that?
That's fine.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
neither of them are very
if
long.
it wasn't for Chevy Chase, then we wouldn't have Home Alone. Because the director that was...
Yeah, he dropped out to do Home Alone because he couldn't get along with Chevy Chase.
Really?
Yeah, he was originally supposed to do this movie. Christmas Vacation.
What was that?
Chris
director?
Columbus.
Okay.
Well, you would still have Home Alone. You would have just had a different director.
director.
Yeah.
Which one's better?
I like this one better, honestly. But it's because I like a little...
I think it depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah, I was going
in
to
a
say, I
Christmas
like
movie.
a little raunchy to go with my wholesome.
It won't even... I mean, there are a couple of moderately raunchy parts, but mostly
I guess it's more like I like the...
a more adult comedy.
Well, and I like that physical comedy
Yeah.
that Chevy Chase brings, you know, and I know there's a little bit of physical comedy.
A little bit.
No, I'm talking about in Home Alone.
I know, there's a lot of it.
Yeah, I know, but it's
like they get their asses handed to them.
yeah, but
by
it's
a
more
child.
it's more like Chevy Chase brings it, and you're not exactly expecting it. Like the only times you're really expecting is like.
I mean,
you know,
let's face it, the only good part of Christmas Story is Chevy Chase.
You mean Christmas Vacation?
That's what I said.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's a few scenes with like Rusty that I really enjoy.
Mostly because of his comedic timing.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm
Not
saying.
like mostly like his eye rolls and stuff.
Like
oh.
for example, the part where he's like, didn't we check all the lights? And he's like, yeah, I'm sure we did. And he's like, well, why don't you do it? And he's like, oh man, look at the time. I gotta go feed the hog, do my homework. That's actually something he stole from Chevy Chase, because that was always a gag that Chevy Chase did on SNL. He would look at his bare wrist and go like, oh, look at the time, and start naming off a bunch of shit he's got to do.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess I'll do Chevy Chase. So,
You'll do them.
not now. Have you seen him?
Is it that bad?
He's on the screen.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I can see that.
You're blind then.
I'm blind.
I know you guys can see that, so I'm not even going to ask if you guys can see that.
Okay. All right. Who is Chevy Chase? Comedic actor. Chevy Chase was born on October 8th, 1943 in New York City. In the 20s, he wrote, or in his 20s, not in the 20s, because he's born in 43. How could he be in the 20s? He's eternal.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He might be.
They say assholes live forever. In his 20s, he wrote for the Smothers Brothers and National Lampoon. Though hired as a writer for Saturday Night Live in 1975, he soon began appearing in front of the camera. He starred in Caddyshack in 1980, National Lampoon's Vacation in 1983, and Fletch in 1985. In recent years, Chase has moved on to work on the popular television series Community. Early life. Actor and comedian Chevy Chase was born Cornelius... What the fuck? Cornelius Crane... I always wondered what his real name was.
Yeah.
Cornelius Crane Chase on October 8th, 1943 in New York City.
Okay.
His grandmother nicknamed him Chevy, as, I don't know how you... Is it Chevy or...
Chevy.
Chevy?
Chevy.
Chevy.
Yeah.
Not Chevy like your truck, but if you own a truck.
Hard CH.
Ch. Chitty chitty bang bang. Sorry.
Well, she might have named him Chevy, and then he didn't like it, so he went Chevy.
Maybe. Chevy after his wealthy Maryland community. After being named valedictorian of his high school class, Chase went on to Bard College, where he earned a BA in English. Bachelor's, yeah.
Bastards?
Bachelor's. Speaking of SNL. Yeah, you ain't kidding me. See, this is why I don't do them anymore.
Eric's got good comedic timing.
It's like, boom, that's it. Anyway. Chase spent his 20s at various odd jobs with the hope of pursuing a comedy career. During this time, he wrote for the Smothers Brothers and National Lampoon, the latter of which eventually led to a lucrative franchise of vacation movies. Chase's first stint as a performer was the New York Comedy Video Workshop Channel 1, which evolved into the 1974 film Groove Tube. After seeing the film, producer Lorne Michaels hired Chase for the first season of Saturday Night Live in 1975. Yes, he was one of the original cast members of SNL.
And I would arguably say the best one for, what was it, the news? What was the news one? What was the news
Weekend Update.
Weekend Update. He was really, his comedic timing on that was really good.
He was really good on it. Norm Macdonald was good.
Oh, Norm Macdonald was great on it.
Even though people were very, very controversial about him. Also, man,
the more controversial you are, though, the better.
Yeah.
I mean, he would.
I don't know, man. I really like Michael Shea and.
Yeah, the new ones are great.
And
yeah.
What's his face?
Yeah, those guys are.
What is his name? He's married to fucking Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. Those guys are really good too.
Yeah, they're pretty funny.
What about Pete Davidson? Wasn't he on one
He was never
people?
on Weekend Update. He was just he guessed. He was on it sometimes, but he never hosted it.
Oh.
Best thing that Pete Davidson did was that Chad shit he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stupid.
That's his character too. Okay.
Sweet.
Really?
Sweet.
Yeah. Cool.
Though hired as a writer, Chase soon began appearing in front of camera and as the anchor of the show's popular Weekend Update
Yep,
segment.
there it is.
With the catchphrase opening, "Good evening, I'm Chevy Chase, and you're not." I remember that. Yeah. And a bumbling impersonation of President Gerald Ford, the actor quickly assumed breakout status, earning Emmys for both his writing and acting. He left after a single season to pursue film opportunities, but didn't strike gold until Caddyshack in 1980, in which
Thanks to Harold Ramis.
He wouldn't even I wouldn't even say he was a prominent role in that movie. Really, he was in it, yeah, but I'd say he was only
Harold Ramis is the only reason he's in that movie.
Yeah, he was only a quarter of that movie, really, because there's Rodney Dangerfield, fucking Bill Murray.
He was just
Bill Murray actually wasn't even supposed to be in the movie at all.
Oh yeah.
He showed up one day on set and told that Dalai Lama story to the cast member that he tells it to in the movie, and he just told it ad lib as a joke.
So the guy
and they loved it.
Christmas Vacation, that's Bill Murray's brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Brian Doyle-Murray.
Yeah. Where was I?
Which both of them were in Caddyshack too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pursue of film opportunities didn't strike gold until Caddyshack in 1980, in which he played a golf pro who oozed confidence and deadpan humor. These would become Chase's trademarks. Of course they are. In 1983, Chase starred in National Lampoon's Vacation, the first of 4 popular films chronicling the comic misadventures of the Griswold family, which included European Vacation in 1985, Christmas Vacation in 1989, and Vegas Vacation in 1997. Which one's your favorite of the four?
Of the four.
Probably the original.
You think?
Yeah.
Really?
What's funnier
You've never
than
seen
them dragging a dog and all of that shit that happens to them in that movie.
Which one's the one that they drove with the dead body
Fucking
on the
dog
roof?
peeing on the
The
picnic
dead
basket.
body on the roof?
On the roof of the car.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
All of the shit that
grandma.
happens to them in that movie.
I don't remember the first one that well, but I gotta say, I think Vegas Vacation. I like Vegas Vacation a lot,
It's all right.
mostly because of Ethan Embry, not because of Chevy Chase.
Yeah, I get it. The first one is it's because of that like comedic timing and
I need to go back and rewatch.
yeah,
it,
you because
it's been a long time since I've seen
they just
that
don't
movie.
have that in movies nowadays. That kind of comedic timing where, you're watching the scene and then you realize like the comedy's already happening and you're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Chase's next box office hit came from 1985 when he starred in the cult classic Fletch, a film widely considered to be the actor's best. As an undercover newspaper reporter, Fletcher, Chase created a classic comic hero with a genius for confusing his adversaries. He reprised the role in 1989 with Fletch Lives, but the film wasn't as successful as the original. Later roles. Throughout the 1980s and early 1990s, Chase achieved moderate success in such films as Spies Like Us and The Three Amigos. Three Amigos, not Amigos.
We knew what you meant.
Yeah. But despite an all-star cast, 1988's Caddyshack 2 received the same mixed to mediocre reviews as the Fletch sequel. The panned follow-ups Nothing But Trouble and Cops and Robersons did nothing to jumpstart the comedian's flagging reputation.
They can fuck off. Nothing But Trouble was
Yeah,
amazing.
that was one.
I agree.
One of,
I
That was
agree.
hilarious.
That movie is
that's
fucking
probably
amazing.
one of my top favorite Chevy
John
Chase
Candy,
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd,
Mm-hmm. That movie
Chevy
is
Chase,
fucking...
Demi Moore.
I know what
It's
people's
very
problem is
underrated.
with the
Tupac
movie.
shows up.
Yeah,
Come
Tupac's
the fuck
in it,
on.
along with Digital Underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on now. Anyway,
Dan Aykroyd's nose is a penis.
yeah,
All around
definitely
the
a
world.
penis. Did nothing to jumpstart the comedian's flagging reputation. In addition, his Fox comeback variety show was canceled 2 months after it premiered in 1993. In recent years, Chase has chosen to work in family films such as Man of the House and Snow Day. His roles have gradually shifted from starring to supporting, including Dirty Work in 1998 and Orange County in 2002.
Became like radioactive.
Chase has
Modern
also made several television cameos. In 2006, he guest starred as an anti-Semitic murder suspect in an episode of Law and Order,
Still
and
memorable.
and as Sally Field's former love interest in the television drama Brothers and Sisters in 2009. Chase appeared as a recurring villain in the spy sitcom Chuck. Community. Chase did, however, make his
That
way
show was
back
fucking funny.
into the spotlight as a regular cast member on the popular series Community in 2009. The show was well received by audiences and critics alike based on its ragtag cast members, including Donald Glover and Joel McHale, which made for an interesting and funny combination. Chase decided to leave the show after its fourth season, following disputes with show writer Dan Harmon. That's it. That's Chevy Chase. They didn't mention one bit about how he's an asshole on set.
Other than him having problems with Dan Harmon.
Yeah, I mean,
That's just the most recent one. Him
Right.
and Bill Murray can't get along. Bill Murray punched him
yeah, I
out on
said
SNL.
Bill Murray punched him.
Over,
Isn't
what
Bill
was her
Murray
name?
the one that got punched?
No,
Or was it-
Bill
Chevy.
Murray punched Chevy
Say,
Chase.
I think Bill Murray punched Chevy Chase.
Oh.
It was some actress on there because Chevy Chase was getting shitty with some actress on SNL.
I'm thinking, was it an actress?
It
or
might
was
have
one
been
of the
Rhea Perlman.
I think it was Rhea Perlman.
Yeah, he was getting shitty with her about something, And Bill Murray stood there for a minute listening to it, and then he just got fed up and he punched him. And like he's caused trouble pretty much everywhere he's gone. He's
an asshole. I mean,
well known in Hollywood. He's
well known. He's one of the more
Unfortunately.
That way
he's one of the more one of the more well known actors in Hollywood that has been dubbed hard to work with.
Yeah, unfortunately, because he is a very good comedic actor.
Yeah,
like
he really is.
He does. I mean, his timing can't be.
Yeah.
Like, it's great.
All right. Well, favorite Chevy Chase movie?
Caddyshack, hands down.
Caddyshack.
Nothing but trouble for me.
Probably Christmas Vacation.
She's like,
unfortunately, it's not because of Chevy Chase though. It's because of everyone else in Caddyshack.
Yeah. If I'm going based on just Chevy Chase himself,
if I'm going just
probably one of the Lampoon movies, like
it'd be Vacation for me.
Yeah, probably one of the Vacation movies. But if I'm going off a movie itself, man, Caddyshack's good. But I'm gonna go with Nothing But Trouble. Like Nothing But Trouble's the shit. I love that movie.
It is really good.
But I do love Caddyshack. Caddyshack's also very good.
All Around the World is always memorable to me from Nothing But Trouble.
Oh yeah, I have that on my Spotify and everything. Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on. What have you guys been watching?
What the hell have you been watching?
You go first, Dad.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, I want you to go first.
Why don't you go first, Joseph?
Christmas has come early.
It's early.
What did I watch this week? So we started watching Haunting of Hill House. We're 2 episodes in. 2 episodes that I've already seen. I saw them already. So I just like, well, we got to start from the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened. I definitely get different vibes from it this time.
After seeing The House of Usher, getting that.
Well, not even that,
flavor.
but like I'm feeling it differently this time watching it, and I like it more. So like I'm into it a little more. I'm more interested in the characters and things like. I think the first time we tried to watch it, I just wasn't in. Like I don't think I was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the other thing is like what I was trying to tell you with The House of Usher. If you look at it from that perspective, if you're watching it for the characters and for the story, not paying attention to that supernatural element, just. Because really,
that's pretty much what's got me into it this time.
Yeah, really, that is what it's about. The supernatural element, or the scary element, I would say, is like a side piece.
Yeah,
you know?
Like this thing here is. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some cool shit in it. Like I remember.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the first episode, that dude in the back behind the mom, like just standing there, like I can see his face.
There's
and I'm sure there's other.
There's stuff that like if you're paying attention to the back. And you don't catch all of it.
No,
like,
I know. Yeah.
Like you'll.
I'm looking for like ever since because I knew that was in the show, and I'm like, oh, I saw that dude's face, and I had to rewind. I was like, Crystal, look, and she looked.
There's one part. Me and Jeremiah never jump. We don't jump at anything. Never have. I've never jumped at anything. No movies. No nothing ever. There's one part in that series that we both jumped like out of our chairs, scared the shit out of both of us. And like he seriously paused it and he was like, "Did you jump too?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Good game, good game, good game, man." Like trying to.
I'd have been like, "No, pussy."
Yeah, right. But it seriously like scared the shit out of both of us. Like we were both like, fuck. Like, yeah, it was a good jump scare.
What else did we watch? So Ada had never seen the Predator movies, so we watched the first 2 Predator movies.
I still need to watch the second one. I haven't.
So she said her favorite so far is the first one. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, that's everybody's favorite. And I watched the second one, and I think this time around, I'm like, the second one is still good to me, but I'm like,
you see the flaws.
Hold up. Yeah, I see why people don't like it. I'm like, okay.
You remember things from your childhood or whatever, and you're like, oh, that's a great movie, and then you go back and watch. Like, I remember for the longest time, why does everybody hate Garbage Pail Kids? And then I went back and watched it in my adulthood, and I'm like, oh, that's why.
This makes sense.
Okay, I get it.
But yeah,
but you guys still suck because it's an amazing movie.
Yeah, like it still holds up. Like I still love the second one.
Yeah.
What else did I watch? Oh, we started. There's a new season of Reacher out on Amazon, and I'm so happy. I love Reacher, man. I love that show. So we've watched 3 episodes of that. Well, the first 3 because that's all that's out. I don't know if there's another one out yet or not. Still waiting on that Chucky season to kick back in. I don't know if there's a new episode out yet or not, but still waiting. Let's just get it over with.
One of the guys that comes to do work at my house asked us if we watched Chucky, because he comes in and he always sees that Chucky, that good guy doll I have.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Do you guys watch the show yet?" And I said, "No." He said, "I'm about to start watching it." And I said, "Well, next time you come by, let me know what you think." Last time he came by, he's like, "I watched it." I said, "What do you think?" He goes, "Just watch season 1. Okay. He said
What'd
the
he
same.
say?
Just watch season 1. He said the same thing you did. He's like, after that, it just gets intensely ridiculous. He's like, if you like ridiculous, it's fine. Season 1 is fine. But he's like, after that, it just gets ridiculous.
Yeah, it does. It gets really, really ridiculous after the first season.
But he did watch all of it. He's up to the same point where you are, waiting for the rest of the episodes. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going through the motions at this point.
Yeah. He said he's not sure if he's going to finish it.
I'm there. I'm already in it. So I'm already balls deep. I got to go. What else did I watch this week? I think that might... Did we watch anything else, Madison?
Besides Impractical Jokers.
Impractical Jokers, yeah. Madison's like, I'm getting tired of this show because we watch it every night.
After a while, it gets
old. Yeah, it gets stale.
The only thing that is neat is like to see the different things that they're going to do.
Right.
And
like, it's funny. It's still funny. It's just
Mhm.
you get tired of watching the same goddamn thing every day during dinner.
Yeah.
Like, I want to watch something else.
Yeah.
Like, let's go back to watching, the original X-Men TV series. I like that show.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
I'd rather watch It's Always Sunny.
We
About
can't watch that
gargoyles.
with the kids, though.
Says who?
Miss Gargoyles.
Says my wife.
They get
She
the
don't need to
Gargoyles
know.
TV show going.
Isn't she there?
They don't like that either.
No.
Why
Yeah,
not?
she's there.
No, she's not.
Put a blindfold on her.
What else did I watch?
Sounds
You
like
can't get past.
I think that's it. I think that's all I watched.
sounds like the
this week.
Sunny theme song. It's not.
I think that's all I watched this week. Eric, what'd you watch?
I didn't really watch too much. I watched Central Intelligence with Kevin Hart and The Rock.
You're just all about watching some crappy movies, aren't you?
Yeah.
Every week you come, you're like, I watched this shitty movie, and you're like, it's good.
Huh?
Hit number 9.
What?
Hit number 9.
It's
9.
Fuck your own face!
yeah. But anyways,
Shut up!
yeah.
Fight! Fight!
Are you happy or are you gonna fuck me up?
They both have access to the bumps now. I apologize.
Wow, Eric, way to back down, man.
I don't give a fuck, Keisha. Mi scusi.
All right, let's go.
All right. So I watched that. I find Kevin Hart and The Rock's comedy.
Yeah, they're
Pretty funny.
good. Like, I like him because, like, the Rock was good in that one because he wasn't like, he was still like a beat 'em up guy, but he was like he played a dumbass,
Yeah.
and I was okay with that.
Also, a little outside of his norm.
A little bit,
I like
yeah.
that.
He
That's about
played-
the only good thing about that. Other than that, Kevin Hart is
The normal.
still Kevin
yeah.
Hart.
Yeah. Watch that. Maze Runner, Death Cure. I think it's the last one. The Maze
I
Runner.
think it is Death Cure.
Yeah. What the hell else did I watch? I started watching a little bit of that Gods of Egypt. You ever watch
Is
that?
that a show?
Is that a
It's
movie? Yeah, that's a movie with Gerard Butler in
Yeah.
that.
Oh, was
Yeah.
that the one that they threw a fit about?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they
I do
whitewashed
remember.
everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
pretty
wasn't
much.
Because we have so many Egyptians in Hollywood.
Yeah.
we got a couple? They had them in The Mummy.
Who?
The guy I don't know their names, but
Well, that's why they weren't in the fucking movie.
they're really good though. They're really good actors. Like the guy, you'd know him if you saw him. I don't know their names, but they were in The Mummy with what's his name? Brendan
Technically,
Fraser. They were in The Mummy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
technically,
I thought you were talking about the new one.
No, not the new
With
one.
Tom
They were in
Cruise.
that. They were in that one with him. There was like 5 or 6 of them, and they're
Oh,
really
yeah,
good
yeah.
actors.
You're talking about the guy who's also in Deuce Bigelow.
Yeah, he's one of them. Yeah, he's a good actor, and he's actually legit
technically,
Egyptian.
from what I understand, this is something I don't know. You know more about, but I heard that Egyptians were actually black.
back then.
Yeah, way back then they were actually black, and then until Romans and
They
those
were
carved-
dark, but I don't know if you'd consider them to be like African black. They
Yeah,
were
I
they
don't
were
know.
just they were out in the sun all the time.
Well,
So
they should have just put Gerard Butler in blackface and did the movie. Sure, it
I think they would
really
frown
well.
upon that
Yeah,
though too.
that might be a little
Pretty
bit more
sure
frowned
that-
upon.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that would have went badly as
probably
well.
would have tanked his career.
Didn't they have
Oh,
Christian,
apparently
Christian
only-
Bale was in that too, right? Wasn't he? For some reason, I think I remember his name being thrown around for that,
He
or maybe
might-
he was
Yeah, I
his
think-
name was thrown around for it, but I don't remember.
Was it Christian? I think you're right. I think it was Christian Bale. Christian Bale, Gerard Butler, that dude from Game of Thrones that played Jaime Lannister.
Yeah,
And then I'm wanting to say even... Who was the big name actor? I'm wanting to say even Anthony Hopkins was in there. I don't know. I can't. I've only seen it once, and I thought it was garbage. It was a big CGI fucking disaster. So that's all.
I
was
didn't
CG.
watch it because
They filmed that entire movie in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
So
I thought the trailer looked that way, so I didn't watch it. And I really like Egyptian stuff, so I was like, "Fuck you."
I scrolled over to Google this morning while I was sitting on the couch waiting to go to school, and there was this trailer. It had it was a fake Frozen trailer, but I was like, okay, and I clicked on it because it was supposed to be live action or whatever. I clicked on it, and it was like clips from Once Upon a Time from the Frozen season, mashed together with random things to make it look like it, and then, what's her face? Kristen Bell's face was like AI'd onto someone else.
That's funny.
And then
Some
Margot
deep fake
Robbie's
shit.
face.
Yeah, that deep fake shit.
On the and then Margot Robbie's face was AI'd onto Elsa's face, and I was like,
That's great.
I hate them fucking fake trailers, dude. If I gotta say
So
anything,
bad.
stop making fake trailers. They're fucking dumb. They're a waste of your time. They're a waste of my time. Stop doing it. Back before I did this podcast, I did my own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I had an entire video dedicated to those fake fucking trailers. Because there's this one called, something screen? Something screen. I can't remember the name of them. But I, made an entire video just bashing on these fuckers. And I tagged the fuck out of them in it. I don't know if they ever saw it or anything, but fuck you.
Fuck
I don't
you
like
in
fake trailers.
particular.
I think you're ripping off other media and it's bullshit. Don't get me wrong, we're doing reviews and things, but we're not ripping off media. We're just giving you our opinion.
Yeah, and people do that every day, whether they're on camera or not. So
Mhm.
we're not doing anything.
And these guys are getting thousands and thousands and thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of views, maybe even millions, all because people think they're clicking on a trailer for a new movie that's coming out.
Right.
Come to find out, it's not real.
mm-hmm.
Right.
It's so
Annoying,
I
disrespectful
Yeah,
to
it's just-
actual creators. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
That's all I had. I watched a little bit more of Forged in Fire, but that's about it.
Okay.
Well,
Madison, what did you watch, bro?
You're not gonna believe me.
I'll believe you.
Will you really? I watched all 3 of the Hobbit movies.
My God.
An Unexpected Adventure, The Return, what is it, The Return of Smaug?
Desolation of Smog.
The Desolation of Smaug, and the something of 5 armies. Of the 5 armies. I don't know. Yeah.
What'd you think?
Madison, if I ever had a daughter, I'd hope she was just like you.
She's
Cute.
dedicated.
I haven't watched anything other than that because I have been reading the books, so.
Yeah.
Or the book.
So what'd you think of the Hobbit movies?
The Hobbit movies? I thought they were funnier than the Lord of the Rings. Mainly because
They were a little bit more comedy into it.
Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
mainly because of Bilbo though, because of
Yeah.
his facial expressions, and he's like,
That's the dude from Hitchhiker's
Hitchhikers,
Guide,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
Well, that's why. That dude's
Yeah.
funny as shit.
Yeah.
yeah. I thought they were.
I need to watch
funnier.
that movie again. I ain't watched that
I
in
mean-
100 years.
I'm not saying they're bad. I just wasn't interested in watching them again because they literally took one book and turned it into 3-hour movies.
It is a cash grab.
Oh,
they should have
100%.
just
Well,
made it.
Peter Jackson didn't want to do it that way, but
Yeah.
the studio forced
The
his hand.
studio, yeah.
And then he was working with green screens the whole time. Fucking Ian McKellen or whatever. Yeah, Ian McKellen fucking had a mental breakdown because he's like, I don't like to do film this way.
Yeah.
Because they had him in front of a green screen instead of out on location.
Well, Peter Jackson had a whole
Yeah,
rant about it.
Yeah,
he
Peter
was
Jackson
so
was
pissed
even
about how the
against
way
it,
they had to
yeah.
do it.
because they forced his hand, and
Yeah.
because I don't even know that he even wanted to do the Hobbit movie.
He did want to do the Hobbit movie. He wanted to do one movie.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to do
Give
green
us
screen.
1 3-hour movie for you.
Yeah, he didn't want to do green screen. He didn't want to do he wanted to do it like they did the other movies and have this grand thing like that. I do remember that.
I got sad when the 3 hobbits died in the end, though.
Oh man, now I'm not gonna have to watch. I already know what happens.
You don't know which ones I'm talking
I'm
Oh,
not
about.
gonna watch it anyway.
yeah.
You know?
No, hobbits. They were dwarves.
My bad.
Do the trees walk in that one?
Forgot.
No.
Everybody walks in that one. They all walk in all
That
of
was the
them.
first one. The second one they just skipped.
But you saw the other wizards, though, that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Brown wizard.
is that all you watched?
Yeah, that's all I watched.
Probably.
Watched a
Yeah, I
little
can see
bit of.
that,
I
yeah.
watched like a half an episode of Xena with Ada the other
You
night.
spend 9 hours watching another set of movie. Yeah, that's all.
That's
I
pretty
got
much
time
all
for.
your week.
Yeah,
Right there.
yeah. Karen, what'd you watch?
I watched Beverly Hills Cop because we were talking about it in front of Jack. So
It's because they just came out with the trailer for the 4th one.
well, he saw us watching the trailer for the 4th one, and then he was like, "I have to watch those." So of course I'm like, I'm not gonna look at him and go, "No, you're not." So we watched Beverly Hills Cop, and then
Did you ever watch Metro?
I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't seen the whole movie all the way through,
That's a lot like Beverly Hills Cop
Yeah.
after Beverly Hills Cop 3.
and I think that's why I haven't watched it all the way through because I get the serious vibes, and I'm like, I've seen this movie already. So
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But then Jeremiah and I watched Inappropriate Comedy because everybody was comparing it to movie 43. It's not. It's not. Don't even bother. It's not good. And then I watched The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. That's the real life orphan. You guys heard about that? Where these people adopted a kid and they thought she was an adult, so they had her like re-aged legally. And
Re-aged.
yeah, like so she was 6 when they adopted her. They thought she was 6, and she had like this case of dwarfism when they adopted her. So they thought she was 6, and then the mom was like giving her a bath, and she said that she saw pubic hair, and there was this whole thing. Okay, so then they go to all these doctors, and and they said the kid was psycho and was like trying to kill him, and there was just all of
Sounds
this
like
stuff.
The Orphan.
Right. It's basically the real life orphan. And that was where they got the idea for Orphan, was from this real life case. So I watched the documentary on it, but it sounds more like the parents were nuts. At least the mom. The dad, I think, was getting a lot of cues from the mom because he's not the one giving her a bath. You know what I mean? And like, so he was getting a lot of cues from the mom, and he's kind of over the top, like emotional, and like he's kind of like a woman. And like, just, I don't know, I think he was less at fault than the mom, based on what I saw. Not saying, I mean, I'm not there, I don't know, but based on this documentary, it seemed like he was less at fault than the mom. And then they've got another documentary coming out where Natalia actually speaks to the dad.
I think I did.
So I want to watch
hear
that
something about
documentary
that.
too, because to me, the little girl got fucked over. Like she was like, they found her birth mom. And her birth mom, like they actually got like DNA off the birth mom. And the birth mom was like, yeah, she was born in 2003. She was 8 years old when they made her move out and said she was 22. Like, they made this girl move out on her own and take care of herself at 8 years old.
That's wild.
Yeah.
You can legally change someone's age.
Yeah.
How much does that cost?
Oh, I don't know. Like, she was 8
You got
years
a
old.
year and a half. Calm down.
Anyway, she was 8 years old and they made her move out and like take care of herself, and she had dwarfism on top of that, and it's severe dwarfism. Like when you see her walk, it's like when you walk on your knees, like hobbling. You know what I mean?
Like a hobbit?
Like she really can't walk right. So can
Yeah.
you imagine her taking care of herself on top of that?
Right.
These people really should just, especially the mom. Anyway,
So what happened to the kid?
she eventually now she lives with
She's a
another
stripper now.
family. Now she lives with another family, and she's 19 now, biologically, but she's
What is
19
she legally?
legally. She's like 36, but they eventually fixed it, so like she's 19. But she lives with another family now who does take care of her. They're like, he's like a preacher, and his wife is like, Sunday school teacher or something. And they're actually trying to get money to take her to visit like her biological mom. Because the only reason her biological mom gave her up was because she had that severe dwarfism. She couldn't afford all
Take
of
care of
the the surgeries that that she
Yeah.
was gonna need and all of that stuff. And then like when she found out what happened to her, like you see the reaction she gets like when they find her and they like she finds out why they want her to take this, you know, maternity test and all this. Like she is pissed. Like she's like, you promised her gold and look what the fuck, you know. She is so angry. But anyway, I want to see the other one where Natalia like confronts the dad.
Natalia is who?
The girl.
The girl.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Then we watched Beverly Hills Cop 2 and Family Guy. And that's it. That's all I've watched this week.
Alrighty then. I think that's all we've watched. I'm sure there's something I probably forgot, but
Yeah.
whatever.
That Natalia Grace one took over like my whole life. I was like,
Really hooked into
oh
it.
man.
What's that on?
It was on Max.
Max.
Yeah, check it out. I think it's only like 8 episodes and they're like 45 minutes.
We
They're
watched
really
a bit
good.
of Stranger Things at Mom's too, and Wednesday.
I
I
still
wasn't
haven't
really
watched
paying
it.
a lot of attention to it, but it was on and I was sitting there.
Stranger Things? You're just going to wait for the whole series to be done so you can just watch it all?
It's usually what I do because
Tell me what was it?
binge
Season
watch.
4? Season 4 rip your heart out.
It did too.
Yeah.
We
Don't worry. Whenever it's all said and done, they'll be like in their 30s by the time the show's over.
No shit.
No,
Okay.
because me and Ada, we stayed up all night just like waiting for it to come out, and we didn't get done until like 8 in the morning, like watching it, and we were both bawling by the end because we
I'm
were
telling
so
you,
tired.
I finished season 4 and I don't cry about anything. And like I might tear up, I might go, "Oh, that sucks," or you know. But like season 4, like that one episode, we won't talk, you know. But like that one episode, I was like,
Yeah.
it's oh.
I know. I
I
looked
was
over,
on the other
I
end
know.
saying,
Yeah.
she dies.
It was awful, awful,
Why would they
awful.
write it
I'll
like
probably
that?
be there like it's about time.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
You
No,
won't.
you
You'll
won't.
cry.
I don't know if you'll cry, but
You may not cry, but you won't. You won't
Your-
be going. Oh,
your
it was about
eyes are-
time. You might get misty.
Your eyes are what?
you'll feel upset. You're not going to get misty. You're not going to cry because it's a fucking TV show.
But you're not.
It makes you
man,
feel
so-
feelings. Okay.
You're not a man, so I don't know.
I don't know. Either
You
way.
deserved it.
No, he
You
didn't.
ain't denying.
No.
either.
Anyway. Sorry. I didn't mean to bring up bad memories.
Bitch is hardcore.
That's exactly what I was looking for. I was like, I can't see my numbers. So I was like, whatever.
You got to write them, rewrite them on there.
Well, I can't see them because it's off.
Should have got a metallic Sharpie while I was out.
I have a metallic Sharpie.
I
From the
had
wedding.
one, but I ran out of it ink again.
You have like 4 of them.
All right.
They're
Let's
nice.
move on here. Let's get into our movie.
Let's talk about the movie.
All right. Yeah, that's where we're at. Movie this week is, of course,
We didn't rate and review or rate and rewatch or whatever.
we're not there
You're not
yet.
there yet.
I just got to the movie.
He says
Nick,
this
he said-
week's movie, then
Yeah.
it says, "Would you watch again?"
Yeah, we do
Let
the
me
synopsis.
skin this cat, okay?
I was
You
just
just
saying.
hold
You
its
see, you
ass
always skip
or head
over. I was just
or
trying to help
whatever.
you. Don't
Just-
forget it.
I got this.
Don't forget
All
it.
right. This week we watched.
Mi scusi.
This week we watched Christmas Vacation. See that
You're all fucked up right
I'm all
now.
fucked up now.
We watched
God
Christmas Vacation this week.
Yeah, Christmas Vacation. You got a plot.
National
synopsis?
Lampoons.
Lapoons.
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 Christmas Vacation. It's Christmas time and the Griswolds are preparing for a family seasonal celebration, but things never run smoothly for Clark, his wife Ellen, and their 2 kids. Clark's continual bad luck is worsened by his obnoxious family guests, but he manages to keep going, knowing that his Christmas bonus is due soon.
Shut up!
I'm just doing what he told me to do.
Mi scusi.
1 hour and 37 minutes, PG-13. Chevy Chase's Clark Griswold, Beverly D'Angelo as Ellen Griswold, Juliette Lewis as Audrey Griswold, Johnny Galecki as Rusty Griswold, John Randolph as Clark Sr. Like, who cares about these people? Let's keep going here. That's Randy Quaid as Cousin Eddie, and Miriam Flynn as Cousin Catherine. That's it.
Alrighty. Let's go around. Would you guys watch and would you rewatch and would you recommend? Eric,
Yes and yes.
Karen,
I watch it every year,
every year.
and I would recommend it to anybody who
Madison?
hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's a good holiday movie. It's a good Christmas flick. And for our 69th episode, sure.
I mean, for a 69th Christmas episode, it's perfect.
We should have done Harold and Kumar.
I brought that
Christmas
one
one.
up.
The Christmas one.
Yeah, I brought that one up.
I think the first one's the best one.
Yeah. That's the only reason why I wouldn't do the Christmas one.
I know.
Well, there is Office
I've only
Christmas
seen-
Party.
I've
Is
only
this
seen
your bush?
Well, no, they do a lot of Christmas shit in that one, but it's not nearly as. Yeah, I've only seen it once though.
All right. Anyway, so that's a pretty strong recommend from everybody. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's fucking Christmas vacation. Go ahead, Karen.
Okay, so with Christmas only a few weeks away, Chicago resident Clark Griswold decides it is time to get a Christmas tree. He gathers his wife Ellen, daughter Audrey, and son Rusty, and drives out to the country to a tree farm. After walking through, they just
Skip
went right past the whole stuck under a truck and okay.
Yeah.
After walking through the snow for hours, Clark finds the largest tree he can. Realizing too late that they didn't bring any tools to cut the tree down, they are forced to uproot it instead.
Which
I wonder
How?
the fuck they did.
How?
I know they didn't do with that car.
No, how the fuck
No,
would
they
they
couldn't
get it
get the
back
car
there?
out there.
Yeah, they wouldn't even get the car out there. I'd like to know how the fuck he got that. So he didn't have tools to cut that bitch down, but he had enough tools to get it out of the
He
ground.
dug it with bare hands
Yeah.
and pulled it out.
Yeah,
That's what they were emphasizing.
Yeah.
He's that strong.
Before driving home with the tree strapped to the roof of their car. Soon after, both Clark and Ellen's parents arrive to spend Christmas, but their bickering quickly begins to annoy the family.
They
Clark-
just skipped the whole part where
I'm
this,
telling you,
like,
they're
he
skipping
was like,
so much.
where the couple walks out and like, where you going to stick that tree? He's like, bend over, I'll show you.
That is literally like my
What'd you
favorite
say?
line in
Yes,
the
it
whole
was-
movie.
I wasn't
talking
talking
You've
to
got a
you.
lot of nerve talking to me like that. I wasn't talking to you.
For being married, he flirts with a lot of chicks.
Yeah, but he wasn't
Yeah,
flirting.
he wasn't
that's a
flirting.
thing in all of the
Definitely him
movies,
also.
though. That's a
really?
that's a thing he does in every single one of the movies.
Yeah, but he really wasn't flirting with
Even
her.
though, let's face it, his wife is
Smoking.
pretty smoking.
Have you seen her recently though? She's another one of those plastic surgery.
Yeah, I
people.
know. She's in.
The most
Violent
recent
Night.
Vacation. She was in the most recent Vacation.
She's also on Violent Night.
Yeah, and yeah. Oh man, what happened?
She was pretty rough.
Just
Elena?
age naturally, please.
Elaine? Elaine?
No,
The girl who
Ellen.
played as her?
the lady who plays his wife.
Oh.
Just age naturally.
I
Please.
thought we were talking about Elaine.
I'm sorry. Was that expensive piece?
Probably her face
She
is
used to
expensive
be.
now, but it looks
Yeah.
terrible now.
Yeah, I'm sure it was expensive to have all that done.
She should get her money back.
Yeah.
Soon after, both Clark and Ellen's parents arrive to spend Christmas, but their bickering quickly begins to annoy the family. Clark, however, maintains a positive attitude, determined to have a fun, old-fashioned family Christmas. He covers the house's exterior with 25,000 twinkle lights, which fail to work at first, as he has accidentally wired them through his garage's light switch. When they finally come on, they temporarily cause a citywide power outage and create chaos for Clark's snobby neighbors, Todd and Margot. Create chaos? Man, they're just... Okay. Todd and Margot. While standing on the front lawn admiring the lights, Clark is shocked to see Ellen's cousin Catherine and her husband Eddie as they arrive unannounced with their children Rocky and Ruby Sue and the Rottweiler dog Snots. Eddie later admits that they are living in the RV they drove, as he is broke and been forced to sell his home and acreage. Clark offers to buy gifts for Eddie's kids so they can still enjoy Christmas. Clark begins to wonder why his boss, Frank Shirley, has not given him his yearly bonus, which he desperately needs to replace an advance payment he has made to install a swimming pool. After a disastrous Christmas Eve dinner, he finally receives an envelope from a company messenger who has failed to deliver it the day before. Instead of the presumed bonus, the envelope contains a free year's membership for the Jelly of the Month Club. This prompts Clark to snap and go into a tirade about Frank. A tirade is, yeah. And out of anger, requests that he be delivered to the house.
I want it written down, everything that he's called.
I used to have that as a text
Yeah.
tone.
I
like,
should look it
At
up.
Christmas time, that was my text message tone.
That's a really long one.
Yeah, it was, but I let it go.
What is
every
it? What
time.
is that guy's name?
Clark Griswold. All you gotta do is look up Clark Griswold's
Rant.
rant.
Wrapped in a bow so Clark can insult him to his face. I want to look him straight in the eye and tell him what a cheap, lying, low-down. Eddie takes the request literally, drives to Frank's mansion and kidnaps him. Clark confronts him about the cancellation of the employees' Christmas bonuses. Meanwhile, Frank's wife, Helen, calls the police.
And I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed. Hold on, it's not done.
No,
it's not. It's a long one.
Worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is. Hallelujah, holy shit, where's the Tylenol?
Yep. Frank.
Where's the Tylenol?
And a SWAT team.
Every parent's.
And a SWAT team storms the Griswold house and holds everyone at gunpoint. Frank decides not to press charges and explains the situation to his wife and the authorities, who scold him for his decision to scrap the bonuses. And he decides to reinstate them, with Clark getting a bonus of last year's amount plus 20%. The family heads outside, with Rocky and Ruby Sue believing they see Santa Claus in the distance. Clark tells them that it's actually the Christmas star, and he finally realizes what the holiday means to him. Uncle Lewis says the light is coming from the sewage treatment plant, reminding Clark that Eddie has been dumping his sewage into a storm drain. Before Clark can stop him, Uncle Lewis tosses his cigar, triggering an explosion. The explosion sends discarded Christmas decorations flying into the sky. Aunt Bethany starts singing the Star-Spangled Banner, and the whole family and the SWAT team join in, gazing at Clark's Santa Claus and reindeer set flying into the distance. The entire family and the SWAT team members then celebrate inside the house, while Clark and Alan happily share a Christmas kiss.
They skipped a lot in that.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
skipped a lot.
there's
whole
like
thing of
very little
cousin-
that
I was wondering
detail.
why it was so short. I was like, this is a short one. Like,
Cousin Eddie's like sitting there, shitters full, the
Yeah.
squirrel, the
yeah,
swimming
that
pool.
really is short too.
I've always wondered, like, why the guys in the blue truck were such assholes. Why?
The what?
The guys at the very beginning,
Oh,
they were like
yeah.
behind them. Like, why were
Well,
they such dicks?
At the first time, they were just trying to pass him, and then
No,
Clark hit
no.
the
At
gas.
the very beginning, you see them pull up, and the guy's like smiling, like they've got like something up their sleeve.
No, they weren't.
No.
They didn't even show him until after they passed him.
Yeah.
No, they show them before.
No,
they
they
passed
showed
No,
him
they
before.
They
No,
showed
they
him.
didn't.
I
They
didn't-
showed
I
him
don't,
before.
I
They
don't
didn't show
remember
him
that at
before.
all.
They
I'm
showed
All
standing
I
behind
remember
it. I will
was
die on this.
They
hill.
got
showed him
up on
before.
Clark's ass, and then they went to pass him, and then Clark hit
Yeah.
the gas, so then they had to
Yeah.
rush to pass him.
And then after that,
then they hit their brakes
yeah,
to piss,
because they didn't really show their face until after
I will
he
die.
flipped
I
them
will
off.
die on this hill.
Because I'd be the
They
same
come
way
up behind
if
him.
I go to pass somebody and
They
then they
come up
gun
behind
it, I'm
him,
going to get in front of them.
Ride
hit my
his ass
brakes.
for a minute, and they show their faces before they come up around him.
I disagree.
You
I'm
can
with
disagree
Eric.
all you want.
I'll die on this hill.
You can, but you'll die before me because I'm right.
Okay.
Bitch is hardcore.
What are you doing?
I watch
I'm
it
trying to
every
find
year.
it.
I
You're trying
don't
to
know.
find it.
I don't remember that part at all.
See, he doesn't remember
No,
that.
I
part.
do remember
I'm
the
saying
part.
I don't remember them smiling at
Yeah,
all.
I do remember them smiling, but not till after they passed. him.
Yeah.
I promise you.
I'll find
Uh,
it. Give me a minute.
I just want to know
Well,
what their
it's there.
problem was. I want to know what their problem was. Like,
It's
immediately
on
they had a
Max.
problem.
I don't have Max on my phone.
I don't have it on my phone either.
Oh, well, I guess that's what we're doing. Hold on. I'll look it up.
Intermission.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow? Go! I knew it.
4.
I'm surrounded by assholes.
Yeah. Karen's gonna die on this hill. Oh, I do have Max on my phone. Shit.
You need the elevator music as a bump.
No, that's Jeopardy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, it still works.
Christmas Vacation.
She's looking up just that part.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
looking up
just
the whole
looking up.
fucking movie. I already got it right here.
Okay.
Starts right at the beginning.
Yeah, it's right at the beginning, so that'll work.
Just hold.
Yeah,
with
you
us.
go up behind him. I want to witness. I don't trust his ass.
A truck comes out of nowhere. I know that.
They do get right on their ass, but I don't remember seeing their face at all.
Until after they pass, or at least until he flips them off. In it.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think they see him then. It's not until after they pass.
Stupid ties with the Santas on them.
No, I have one of those at home. What we're looking for today is the Griswold family Christmas tree.
truck's coming up.
Mm-hmm. I know.
See, automatically, he's like, I haven't seen his face yet. No face.
But they're like right on the tail. Just wait.
Riding his ass.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Hmm.
Right there, smiling.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Karen was right.
Huh. Huh.
Well, you can die on that hill.
Yeah,
man.
I can die on that hill. I have seen that movie.
I forgot. They
Times.
do show a glimpse of him just like smiling like a retard.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, what is their problem? Like, from the get.
I don't know what maybe I think he's just mentally retarded.
Probably.
I really think that's what it is.
They don't even know
He's
these
got this
people.
really dumb look at us like.
Yeah, they don't even know these people. They just roll up on their ass and be assholes.
You get that. There'd be
Comedy.
people out there like
am I
that.
right?
I guess. I love the fact that he ends up under that truck, though. That is fucking funny.
I don't know how he ended up under the. How did?
Because he's not paying attention. Like Clark
No
always
one is,
does.
apparently.
That's a big ass truck to
But
not be
Clark
paying
doesn't pay
to.
attention. He's just pissed. Like, he does that shit all the time. He doesn't pay attention, and then he ends up in trouble.
He's
That's
an
his.
idiot.
That's everything. That's all he ever does.
Could you imagine having a dad like that
Yeah.
or a husband like that?
I don't have a husband, but I have a dad.
Remember, like, I love. How do you even get out of that situation? I'd have a heart attack. I'd fucking have a heart attack. Like, you just be.
Well, you see how he got out of the
I
situation.
know. He's just like, amen.
So one of my favorite parts of this whole movie
It makes
is
me think of this.
one of my favorite parts is whenever he puts that fucking
Good luck,
shit on the
everybody
bottom of the
else.
sled.
What's that?
The part where he puts the shit on the
Oh
bottom
yeah,
of the sled.
the 500. It was 500 times more slippery than
Yeah.
whatever. I don't remember what he says.
He
but-
said he puts it on, and like he sits down, and there's not even like a start.
No,
It's
he just.
it's like a jet engine. Like he just
It
goes.
was funny because Jack was sitting next to me, and I was watching his face instead of the screen. You know, like we were talking about, like when you watch movies and
you want to
See
see
what-
you've
it.
seen it, but you want to see what other people, you know. So I was watching Jack's face instead of the screen, and he takes off, and then it goes, you know, you see it take off, and then you see that it's Clark, right? And he goes, "Oh my God, I thought that was a firecracker." And I was like, "Nope, that was the sled." And he's like,
He went to ludicrous speed.
"Yeah," he went to ludicrous speed immediately.
He went to plaid. He's gone plaid.
So, all right, we talked about the tree though, and how did they get it out? But best guess wins.
How they get it out?
How they got it out. Remember, they didn't have anything on them. They walked out there with their
Why did they
coats.
have it written down in trivia or something?
No, I don't have any more.
I'm gonna guess they dug it out with their hands and
Had to have, because I mean,
and climbed up the top and tipped it over.
or got a stick and just started fucking.
But they'd have been there for a couple of
Oh
days.
man,
I'm thinking that they all took off their coats. Somebody got on top, like you said, right? Whoever's the heaviest, let's say, and then the rest of them took their coats and pulled
There's no way.
and pulled it
No.
out.
Not,
Yeah,
they'd
there is
have
a
to dig
way.
it out first.
That's
Well, yeah, they dig it out, but I'm saying like that's how.
Oh yeah. Okay.
yeah.
you
Maybe.
literally have to dig out
Yeah.
all those, and you know how thick them roots.
Not
would
to mention
be?
they didn't have anything to dig with. But
I'm
maybe
just saying
sticks.
that they had to do that. They had to. They got it out.
It's definitely the most like
it's movie.
It's movie
Movie
magic.
movie magic. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely the most.
I'm
I
not
think,
saying.
I think they gave up. Walked
not
back
saying
and
that they
saw
were-
a tree had fallen
I'm not saying
over.
their hands weren't frozen at the end and that they were fine because of movie magic. I'm saying that that's what happened.
Well, hell, fucking what's her name?
Her face, her eyes.
She
were
was
Yeah, her
already
eyelids were
frozen.
frozen shut already,
open
or frozen open.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. She'll see it
look at-
later. Her
she'll-
eyes are frozen
yeah,
open.
she'll see it later. Her eyes are frozen.
Yeah. And I know that most people's favorite line in this movie is the rant, but mine is the, where are you going to put a tree that big? Because
Yeah.
the rant is easy,
Yeah.
But like when he says, where are you going to put a tree
Bend
that
over
big?
and I'll show you.
Bend over and I'll show you.
He, like,
I wasn't talking
I
to
wasn't
you.
talking to you. And then he puts his mask back on.
Yeah, and the lady's like, I can't believe you talked to me.
I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus in this movie is very underutilized.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
You know the guy, Todd. This was something I found out in trivia, but I didn't put it in there because there was like a shit ton of stuff that just it was kind of discombobulated and it didn't really make sense unless you like really put a bunch of other stuff in there that wasn't that interesting. But the guy that played Todd, he actually worked for National Lampoon when it was a magazine, and he was like a high-ranking like National Lampoon magazine person. So he had a great sense of humor. And most of the stuff that happened to him and Margot was his idea. And there was actually a deleted scene that was supposed to happen at the end where they were in the house and he says something about Santa coming to visit them. And the Santa that flies up into the air comes down and lands through their roof. So, yeah,
That would've been awesome.
I thought that was kind of funny that he was involved in pretty much all of the shit
This was
that
definitely
happens to
back
them.
during. Well, Julia Louis-Dreyfus at this time would have been on SNL, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or she was on Seinfeld.
Yeah, I think so.
She might have been on Seinfeld. What year was this? 85?
89.
89?
89 or 90.
I don't know. When.
I think 89 was when the movie came out in theaters, but I don't think it got...
She was probably getting ready. I don't know when Seinfeld started.
came
I don't
out
know
like
when
early
Seinfeld-
I think
90s.
it started in 90 or 91.
It was the early 90s.
It was definitely early 90s.
I think it was 89.
Was it 89?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Like,
I don't think it was that early.
I just said it, didn't I? God.
1989.
Yeah.
89? So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
she'd have been just starting on Seinfeld. So,
Yeah.
back when she was goddamn gorgeous.
She was beautiful.
Yeah. I loved Elaine, though. And she was one of my favorite characters on Seinfeld. Her and Kramer.
I will say one of the reasons that this is my favorite, actually probably my favorite Christmas movie is because there's really not much talk or very little talk about presents. Like there's
right.
it's mostly about him just wanting to give his family a good Christmas.
Good Christmas, yeah.
And it ends on Christmas Eve. So there's really like, no presents, no talk about what do you want for Christmas,
Oh, yeah.
they just and I can't think of very many Christmas movies like that.
Yeah.
It's all talking about what do you want for Christmas. We got to go see Santa. You got to tell Santa what you want. Even Christmas Story, one of the most, dearly beloved Christmas movies, is all about what Ralphie wants for Christmas, which is fine.
Red
It's
Ryder
a very
BB gun.
yeah, it's a very heartwarming and wholesome movie, but I like this because it doesn't have that. It doesn't have anything to do with what do you want for Christmas. It's all about what Clark wants to give his family. So I really like that. Even hidden in all of the comedy and all of the, raunchiness of the
Wasn't
movie or
about
whatever you want to call
material gifts,
it.
it was-
Yeah, there was no materiality of this movie. It was all about what he wanted to do for his family.
Sort of, yeah.
Very little.
I would say that the swimming pool
Sure. I'm just saying that there's very
would be
little.
his Red Ryder BB gun.
Sure, I'm saying, but it's very little, right?
But it's not just for him; it's for his whole family.
Right.
Right, but I'm
Right.
saying that overarching, that gift is what, that big gift is really what drives the
But
plot.
like he,
so.
like the one, like his friend said, he's like, "Well, I hope you're going to spend that bonus on you." And he's like, "Me? Heck no." And he
He's
talks
trying
about
to
he's going to
bring
get
his
this
family together.
Yeah, because one thing about Clark Griswold in all of these movies, he's always about his family. It's
Yeah,
his family.
so he's buying this gift
So-
as something not just for his immediate family. Like he's talking about bringing all of them out
Yeah.
to christen this. So I guess I like the fact that it's not about.
One.
Yeah, it's not about, like, oh, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want under that tree? What do you want for your present? Blah, blah, blah.
It's about what he wants to give.
Yeah, it's just one of those very few Christmas movies that you see that's not about the gifts. It's not about that
it's
part
about
of
family.
Christmas, I guess. I like that a lot. I also had a question about the sleeping arrangements. So you see Rusty and his sister sleeping in Audrey's room in like a queen size bed.
Yeah.
But then you see the grandparents sleeping in Rusty's room in bunk beds.
I can't have it. I bet that was a single.
Why wouldn't you put?
Yeah,
No, it was definitely like enough
I
for
think it
two
was a
people.
queen.
So maybe a
no,
full
they were
bed?
they were
Maybe a
right
full-
against
Maybe
each
a
other.
full-
Definitely wasn't a queen.
So maybe a full bed. But why would you put the kids in a full bed and the grandparents in bunk beds? Why would you put the kids in the bunk beds and the grandparents in a full
Because
bed?
it's
Right,
Clark
because
Griswold-
the kids
because
are
it's the
smaller
Griswolds,
and
man.
can fit in the bed.
Maybe.
Yeah, but you're gonna put an old man on the top bunk of a bunk bed?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he chose that because of the poster.
Good
I
possibility.
guess, but I'm sure he didn't know it was up there until he got up there.
Yeah.
And where did the other two sleep?
I don't know because after a while you got those kids.
Well,
you
then
got
I'm thinking
Clark
like this
and-
can't just be a 2-bedroom house.
No, I mean I would imagine it has to be at least 3, but
Yeah.
like still like I don't know because by the time Ruby, Sue, and Rocky show up, where
I
does
don't
everybody
understand
sleep?
why he had a bunk bed anyway.
Rusty?
Yeah.
I don't know. Most kids do at that age, I guess. I don't know.
He's not. He doesn't have another sibling in his room with him
No, but
A
I
lot
mean,
of parents will have a bunk bed so that way if they're
in case of a sleepover.
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
a kid brings
Yeah.
another
I
kid
had
over.
that bed under mine.
We never put anything on it though. We just had it because it came with that bed.
Okay,
With your
but
day
there-
bed.
It's
What was
still
it,
there,
Trundle?
though.
Huh?
Was it a Trundle bed?
It was a day bed, and then it had the bed underneath
The
too. that
trundle
you could
bed,
slide
yeah.
Trundle,
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
Trundle.
Yeah, we never put anything on it. I didn't even put the wheels on it.
No, he gave up.
Yeah.
He put the first one on, and then he said, "We'll just put the other 3 on when you get you a mattress."
Never
That
got a
ain't
mattress
happening.
for it.
No. And then I lost the wheels anyway, so it don't matter.
My kids have bunk beds. They're separated right now because each one of them use them. They're actually the bunk beds we had. But
My boys have bunk beds, and they don't come apart. So
ours
used
did.
to.
whenever they go to different bedrooms, we're gonna have to get them completely different beds.
Yeah,
Oh, I
ours
hate my
came
life.
apart. But like,
I have a triple bunk bed that's in my garage.
You could always just, like, whoever moves into my room, just take my old bed, and then have that, whoever stays in that room keep that bed, and then whenever
Nobody
someone
wants your
stays the
farty
night-
ass mattress.
I fart? Have you
Oh,
met
no,
Gavin?
I got rid of that
does
bunk bed.
Anyway.
That's right.
We're getting
Cousin
off
Eddie's
subject.
fake turtleneck. Did anybody else notice that?
I did. It's
That's
like
fucking
the thing.
hilarious.
I always notice that, like whenever I watch
He's
the movie.
so trashy. Like, he is so trashy.
In Vegas Vacation, he literally cooks steak on a rock because he
Mhm.
lives in the desert.
Hmm
Yeah, if it works, it works.
I love when he talks about his plate in his head.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, we had to replace it with plastic because every
Yeah.
time she turned on the microwave, I'd piss myself and forget who I was for half an hour.
Yeah.
And, I don't want to go sliding down this hill with anything between the ground but me and a piece of government plastic. And he's like, you think that'd make a difference, Eddie? And he's like, well, you see, over here, nothing. But over here, if this gets dented, my hair just ain't going to look right.
Yeah.
That's what you
And
get.
if this gets dented, he said, my part's
Yeah,
right
my
here.
part runs right
so
through here.
if this gets dented, my hair will just never look right.
Oh. And one of the most real scenes to me, I don't know how your guys' families work, but like I know, like me and Jeremiah were even talking about this. There's like this trope in every family. You'll know what I'm talking about too, Eric. There's always like, like they always treat Clark like shit. But Clark has a good job,
Yeah.
takes care of his family, does all of the right things. But when Eddie shows up, they're treating Eddie like gold. But they're treating Clark like shit all the time. And that's a thing. Like, you watch this movie and you're like, oh, so apparently that's not just something that happens in our families.
See, I agree with that, but not because I experienced it, because I don't care about my family.
No, I
don't go see my family.
just see it like, like you see it in every family. Like, there's always that one guy and that other guy. And you're like, why do they like him so much? Dude don't even have a job.
I mean,
Or,
you see
know what
that.
I mean?
You can see that within sibling relationships too. Like a parent will treat their dog shit kids better than their kids who are actually trying or doing good for themselves. I mean,
Yeah.
not that
You
that's
know what I'm
happening
talking
to
about, like
me.
with our cousins and stuff. Like you'd see the certain cousins getting treated one way and other ones you're like, why? Yeah. Anyway, it's a thing in families, But you see it in this movie too, and you're like, oh, so apparently that's not just something that happens in our family. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But one of the most real moments in this movie for me too is like when Clark and Ellen are talking, and it's one of the only times in any of the movies from Vacation all the way to the newest Vacation that you see Clark and Ellen actually being a real married couple.
Yeah.
When they're sitting in the mirror in that room and they're talking about
The fact,
that they don't have
They
anything for their kids.
Anything for their kids.
Like, how can they not have anything for their kids? And she's like, well, he's been out of work for 7 years. And he's like, well, in 7 years you couldn't find anything? And her look, she's like, well, he's been holding out for a management position.
Yeah, and he actually has that look on his face, like, yeah.
Yeah, like it's the only time you actually hear them having like a real married conversation between the two of them. The rest of it's always, that, I guess, movie comedy conversations that they always have. But like, it's the first and only time you ever see them having a real conversation between the two of them. I always found that interesting. But yeah, that should be.
Yeah, they don't act like a real married couple. Hell, in Vegas Vacation, she about falls in love with fucking Wayne
You want some
Newton.
pasta?
With
I made
Wayne
pasta.
Newton. Yeah.
Fuck. Wayne Newton.
Right?
I don't get it.
In the second half of this movie, that shirt she's wearing, it's like,
Oh yeah,
are
it's
her
like
tits gonna come
clear
out?
down here.
Yeah, are her tits gonna fall out of that thing?
And I mean, like it's a beautiful outfit, except for the fact that like it buttons up here.
I don't think it's really Christmas appropriate.
No, it's like it buttons up here, but then it like opens and then it ends down here, and like all this cleavage.
Yeah, and
hanging out.
you can see her bra, which is a different color from her shirt.
Yeah.
I didn't notice, but
No, I know you didn't. I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Somebody
told me about it.
Somebody told you.
Yeah.
Somebody else who watched the movie was like, Joseph, did you notice Ella's
I
outfit?
didn't actually. Thank you for bringing that up. I'll talk about that in a podcast.
Oh, and the turkey.
I'll be honest with you.
Dry.
I
I
love
remember
turkey.
that part from when I was a kid.
I love turkey, but man,
I could not.
How long do you have to cook
That
a
was
turkey
gross
for it
as
to be
fuck.
that fucking dry?
And
Literally,
like
I
look that
touched
good
it
on
with a
the
knife and just-
outside.
Oh, yeah, and that good looking on the outside. How can it be that good looking on the outside and that dry on the inside? How does that
they
happen?
microwaved it.
No. They did a good old Scary Movie 3 basting. Used their tongue.
Oh, and that cat. Let's talk about the cat. So first of all, she wraps the cat, which is
Fucking
hilarious. When he's like holding it, it's like, "Meow," and he stops it, and it stops meowing.
I
It's
wonder if
fucking
they put
funny.
like one of those little kid toys that bounce around.
No,
So
yeah.
Put that in the box and make it jump around like that.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny. That'd be a good.
And then
gift.
when the cat fucking bites it because it electrocutes itself, fucking funny. I mean, it's not, like as a like animal lover or whatever, you're kind of like sitting there, you're like, oh, but at the same time, it's fucking funny.
The thing about the comedy in this movie is
Just hear it go.
It'll be completely quiet, and there'll be like a conversation going on, and out of nowhere, a comedic beat will just come out of nowhere.
Yep.
And bam, there it is.
Or like Uncle Lewis with the tree.
Yeah.
Like you're not
He's
even
just
paying
sitting
attention.
there,
You're
yeah.
watching them eat, and then all of a sudden, whoosh!
And then
Yeah.
he goes out there, and his whole tree's
He's like,
gone.
my tree. What
It's
are you
like,
belly aching
yeah.
about? Fucking Uncle Lewis is such a dick. No, what does he say? He's like, what are you whining about, or what are you?
I don't remember exactly.
Yeah,
what he
he's
said.
just like, what are you whining about, or
He
whatever.
has
He's
to like
"My tree."
tackle him
Yeah, and
because
he's
his
like,
ass is
Lewis.
on fire.
He tackles him down.
That show's pretty funny.
Oh my god, fucking love that movie. Everything about it.
Then they all start getting on Clark's case about like, you know how
Squirrel.
dangerous fucking trees are.
Yeah, I can't believe how scared they were of the squirrel. It's like it's just a fucking squirrel. I bet
It's
if you
still
open
funny.
the door and walk away, it'd probably just run outside.
It's still funny though, like when he gets up on his back or whatever, and they're all running from him. Like that's, see, that's the kind of stuff.
It's like great outdoors kind of thing.
Yeah, like that's the kind of stuff that like we kind of miss in movies nowadays. Like they don't have that.
Because
That's what I'm talking about. Like
That's
that,
because they
that
anymore-
physical humor.
Yeah, anymore they need comedy to make sense. And back in the day, they didn't care about whether or not it made sense. They just made it funny anyway. So, I mean, if you
It does
think-
make sense that like if somebody had a
but it
squirrel
don't,
on their
though.
back,
It don't though, because they're not gonna freak out about a fucking squirrel.
I would.
Maybe the women might, but like, okay, or like how
His
the
mom
tree ignites.
like completely lost
the
her
tree
mind.
she
ignites.
just- Don't move, Mom.
How the tree
Is he
ignites
gone?
and it like just goes up in flames in like a split second.
If it was really dry, it would.
Not like that
But-
though. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Though.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
like
I
almost
don't
like
know.
Didn't
I don't
dousing
know,
it
I've
in
never had a
kerosene
real
and
tree
shit.
down
Huh?
there.
I don't know. I've never had a real tree, but I know that
I
they're
have,
like,
and
they're,
they're-
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that they're like, they always warn at this time of year, like if you have a real tree, like how big of a fire hazard they are. And
Oh, they're a
stuff.
huge
Like,
fire hazard.
yeah,
That's
I don't
why
know.
Clark was like, "We got to keep water in it to keep it moist." Well, I remember
it-
having one of those in the bottom of our tree whenever I lived with my dad. When I was like 6, we had a real tree, and he had one of those pots of water, like he had that also held the tree up,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, they had like screws in them and
it
stuff.
screws
Yeah, I've
into
seen
it, yeah, and they keep water in it to keep moisture in the tree,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's a real thing. But like the way that tree went up would never happen. It's just like whoosh, and that was it. It was like cartoon,
Yeah,
like
but
a
it's still
cartoon.
funny. It's
And
still
of
really
course,
funny.
that's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
that's what I like most about it. Is a lot of stuff that happens is like cartoonish, like
No,
Yeah.
yeah, over the top. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Is like
That
it's
was
not
like the good comedy back then, though.
Yeah.
The
well.
cartoon
Take for example, like another Chevy
effects of
Chase
it.
movie, like Nothing But Trouble. At the end of the movie, whenever he says,
Yeah, and he
we're
goes
coming
through
to
the
see you," and he
wall.
goes through the wall,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like a
And
cut
it's
out
just
of
like
his,
a cutout of his
of
body.
his silhouette. So it's like, yeah, that shit's funny. Like
Yeah, he's like,
cartoony.
we're gonna go live with my nephew,
That was
who's a banker, and then
No,
he shows like his
son.
ID. Oh,
his
was it
son-in-law.
son? His son-in-law. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because he marries. Yeah. He's like, we're gonna go live with my son-in-law, and he shows his ID, and he's like, no, you're not. yeah, I remember that. I really like that part. Oh, Shitter's Full. We didn't talk about Shitter's Full yet.
Shitter's full.
Yeah.
Shitter's full.
That's probably one of the most iconic scenes in the movie. The guy walks out like he's gonna go running, like go jogging. He's like, Can you imagine if you went outside and you smelled something like that?
And somebody was out there doing that.
Shitter's full.
Yeah, they
Like,
that is
What would you go in and say to your family? Like, seriously, like, I'd walk in and be like, there's some guy out there emptying a toilet
yeah.
into the sewage.
into our
Yeah, our drain.
I'd be
actually,
like,
into the
Dad?
drain.
which
is
is
that
extremely
okay?
illegal.
Well, I wouldn't know.
No,
It was
no,
illegal.
it's-
I would
it's
like walk
very
in and be
illegal.
like, oh, I wouldn't know that though. I'd walk in and be like, is that okay?
Very
Like,
illegal.
yeah, if
because it runs back. It runs into the rivers and stuff.
Right. Like, I guess I wouldn't know that it was a chemical toilet at first. Like, because I don't know anything about RVs really. Like, I've never had to take care of one, I guess. Like, my parents always had
Well,
one.
either way, it's still illegal, even
Ye-
if it wasn't chemical.
Well, I guess that's true. I guess I never.
That'd be like
thought
going
about
in,
it.
like that'd be like saying, "Is it okay to take a shit in the river?" No, it's not okay. It's not okay. People swim, fish, all kinds of things in that river.
That's a good
You can't
point.
take a shit in the river.
That's a very good point, yeah.
So to dump 4 people and probably a dog's,
Oh, that
like a
fucking
month's
dog was
worth
so
of
nasty.
shit into the sewer is not okay.
Dog was so nasty.
So
And
there's snot all
The
over.
complete lack of any kind of
Control.
well, no, like,
you literally have people like hazmat suits coming by, like, what the fuck?
well, like Eddie's wife seemed to have some understanding of how people are supposed to act.
Yeah, because she's a little more lighthearted. She's a little more.
Well, she was the one that
reserved.
was like part of the family. Like, he married into it. So, like,
No.
Yeah,
yeah, she was the one. That
cousin Eddie married into their family.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
I thought she married into the family.
No.
So that's her.
They're sisters.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
I never
is-
put that together. I never
that is
knew.
Helen's sister.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't he say cousin-in-law or something?
Yeah,
That-
his
or
cousin-in-law
Spock
or
did?
whatever. Well, that would be cousin-in-law either way because he married into her.
So
family.
it's
But
her
anyway,
cousin.
Yeah. So Eddie married into the family, so he has a certain amount of like, okay, he's an idiot. But like, she has like some amount of like, she should know better. And you can see that. Like, there's times like when he does or says something and she kind of goes, well, da 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 da. At what point do you like just know better? Like, I don't
See,
know.
now, I know that some people in life have no boundaries. They don't have a sense of your personal space and boundaries. I've got friends like that.
But remember in Vegas Vacation when she says something about, like, well, at least you're not pregnant, she starts crying.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she knows better. Like, she knows that something's wrong with this.
Yeah.
Like, at what point in time do you go, that's enough? Like, you can't act this way.
Well, if it says anything for the actor, even himself, I mean, he thought that the government was out to get him or something.
Yeah, I guess. You know what my favorite part in the first one is?
Or no, Hollywood. The Hollywood elites were out to get him or something like that.
Oh, yeah, in the real world. My
Then they moved
favorite,
to Canada or some shit
Yeah.
because of that.
My favorite part in the first one, though, is when Vicky, their oldest daughter, who shows up back in Vegas, she's, like, on the seesaw with Audrey, and she's talking about French kissing. And she's like, well, have you ever French kissed a boy? And Audrey's like, no. And she's like, well, Daddy says I'm the best at it.
What?
Yeah. Adds a whole new level.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. That's why I said the first one is fucking, you need to go back and watch it. It's fucking hilarious. I mean, this one is way tamer.
Oh yeah,
And like, well, I mean,
this is the
pretty
most
much all of
tame
them
Yeah.
afterwards are way tamer than the
Even
first one. The
Vegas
first one is,
Vacation was bad.
yeah. Well, Vegas Vacation isn't even nearly as bad as the first one. The first one is like they kill a dog.
What was the first one called?
Vacation.
Vacation.
Just Vacation?
Yeah.
Yeah, they go
Wally
on a
World,
vacation to Wally World, which is an amusement park.
Right.
And
which is what you and Mom always told me we were going to.
yeah, we
Walmart.
always told Eric we were going to Wally World whenever we go to Walmart, and he got excited thinking we were going to the amusement park, which we weren't. We were going to
Ticks.
Walmart.
You'd fit right in with the Griswolds.
Yeah. But yeah, they go to they're trying to go to an amusement park in the first one, and a lot of shenanigans and
A
stuff.
lot of shenanigans.
You should watch it. It's definitely worth. It's worth
We'll
it.
watch it one of
I
these
promise
days.
you, it's fucking
Yeah.
funny.
I think they're all funny, but
They are, but I'm telling you, I think the first one is the funniest to me, and it's because of there's like that. Daddy says I'm the best because there's like this comedic timing that like at you're like, did she just say?
Daddy says I'm the best at it.
Yeah.
Has anybody else got anything else?
That was all
yeah,
the notes
it-
I had.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and rate Christmas Vacation.
Let's rock out as bitch.
Who wants to go first? Let's start with Madison.
I was gonna give it a 7.5.
Okay. Why are you saying it like, is it okay if I do?
Can I?
I don't know. That's what I was gonna give.
Is that what you're gonna give it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the movie.
You just
It
liked
made a good Christmas movie.
Yeah. It is a
Got
good
it.
Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It's
And
definitely
funny.
definitely one of the better Christmas movies.
Yeah. It's
So-
not like one of those cringy ones. So.
I think for me, I'll give it a 7.5. It's not the best, but it is one of the best. And it's a good, funny movie, and it's not over the top where it's still a movie you can enjoy with the family. It's not like one that you have to be like, hey, turn your head at certain parts, which we did do that with my son because of the part with the girl in the pool. I was like,
There's only side boob.
I know, but I couldn't remember if there was nudity. So I was like,
no.
oh, turn your head, dude. I don't know if this is.
No.
I couldn't remember. So
It's not like
Just side boob.
Vacation, the new one with
Yeah, I was
Ed
like,
Helms.
yeah, there's side
that
boob or whatever,
fucking
but-
terrible movie.
But I was the same way. I mean, I forgot all about like if there was gonna be nudity or not.
Yeah, I didn't know if there. I couldn't remember if there.
No,
would be
all
or
of
not.
them are kid friendly until you get to kid friendly in my book until you get to the very last one that had Ed Helms in it.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Chris Hemsworth cock was pretty.
That was a fucking terrible movie. Like for a vacation movie.
I mean, for a vacation movie, I didn't care for it. No, but as a movie itself, it was funny.
Yeah, for a movie itself, it's fine, but like as a vacation movie, it's fucking horrible.
But anyway, I think that 7.5 is good for me. Karen.
Okay. For me, I don't have a lot of complaints because this is again one of those. This is actually one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Christmas movie. What puts it over the top for me is like I talked about with the fact that they don't talk about presents. I hate the commercialization of Christmas, and I really don't like that a lot of movies focus on that. I think that you should focus more on family, spending time together.
Was there anything you didn't like about it?
Oh fuck.
No. One of my favorite parts actually is also when they're in the office and the guy wants that report and he's like, Merry Christmas, kiss my ass, kiss his ass, kiss your ass, kiss my ass, Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I love that whenever he took in the present to his boss.
yeah,
And he
and
sat
they
it
were
down.
all the same.
They looked exactly the same, just
Yeah.
in different wrapping.
I love all that subtle stuff that you don't,
Mhm.
unless you know, it's like the fourth or fifth time you watched it, right? Like you don't catch all of those things the fourth.
I think the
every
most
time.
confusing part of the movie, though, is the complete character switch of the boss. He's a complete douche, and then at the end of the movie, he's just the nicest guy in the world.
Well, I think part of
out
that,
of nowhere, you know what I mean?
the only thing I can
He
say
was
about that,
Kidnapped.
Yeah.
So.
the only thing I will
Didn't
say,
take much convincing.
the only thing I will say about that is sort of like what happens in Scrooge. Remember when he talks about how at Christmas time you're a little bit more forgiving, you're a little bit more this, you're a little bit more that. I agree with that. I think at Christmas time people are a lot more nice. They're a little bit more open. They're a little bit more forgiving. They're a little bit more. They're the kind of people that they wish they were year round, right? So I think that's kind of what happens with Frank Shirley in this movie is that like when he gets called out on what happens, he kind of goes, you know what? Yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
Not me.
Because like he says, like he's like they called me out on something that I shouldn't have done.
And then his wife is like, "You didn't
Yeah,
take
you
away
didn't.
the
You didn't. And then everybody's like, if I had a rubber hose, I'd beat. I mean, that would be my explanation for it, and I would stand behind that because I think that that's something that's a phenomenon I think that really does happen in the real world. I think that people will smile a little easier. They're a little bit more.
Not me.
Shut up.
I get angry around Christmas.
I
think
love
Christmas is a
I
very
still get like
chaotic and nerve-wracking holiday.
Yeah,
I
still
try to get
mad at-
everything done as quickly as possible.
But then again,
so that
Christmas isn't like it was back then. Christmas is a lot more stressful nowadays than it used to be. Because you're trying to get the newest thing before everybody else, and it's always some stupid fucking electronic. They don't make it easy for you. Well, I guess they kind of do make it easy nowadays, but with the internet and stuff. But
I think it's a lot easier nowadays than it was for our parents. We don't have to go anywhere. I can
yeah,
just
but back then, kids really, really appreciated what they got, unlike a lot of kids nowadays. If it isn't a phone or a tablet or something like that, they don't give a fuck. You can't go out and just buy them a toy and they'll be happy with it. They gotta have.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of truth to that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess for me, like I try to get all of that shit out of the way so that I can enjoy my Christmas, because to me Christmas is important. And I don't know. I really think
I hate the gift giving stuff though. That's
exactly.
my issue
That's
with
my
it,
point. I don't think that gifts are really what matters, and I really appreciate the fact that this movie doesn't focus on that. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, you have like two people that when it comes around Christmas time, you get the person that's like Elf, and then you got another person that's like the Lord of the Rings guys, where it's like, and so it begins.
Mm-hmm.
It's so begins.
I'm not the elf person. I'm not like, oh God, it's Christmas. You know, like I don't go over crazy or overboard about it or anything like that. But I do like it, and I do. I'm more like I enjoy it very much, and I like it. I like being with my kids. I like the family aspect of it. I like being with my family.
I still manage to get yelled at every
So
year.
I think that's why I like this movie a lot, is because he focuses on his family. He's focusing on giving his family a good Christmas, and there's very little focus on the presents. So because of that, I'm giving it an 8.5.
Eric?
As you should.
So, I mean, I really enjoyed this movie. It's a very good comedy. Not really a whole lot of bad to talk about it. I mean, there was like one scene that I really enjoyed was like when he starts to snap and he's going around the house with the chainsaw. And it's like every dad's like this too at some point in time. Like, you know, there's always
Fix
that
the
one.
railing.
Yeah, there's always
Fix the newel
something
post.
wrong in your house. You're like, fuck it, it's fixed now. Okay, let's go on about it. So I really enjoyed that part.
I'm going to 9.
I changed your mind. So I'm going to probably go in at probably a 7.5 on this movie.
Karen obviously loves it more than we do.
I watch it every year. It's one of my favorites.
Is it 8.225 or something like that?
It is 7.9.
That's what I said.
Yeah, you did.
She's not my kid. All right. So you heard it right here. 7.9. That's pretty good though. Let's see what Rotten Tomatoes says though.
They suck. I'm gonna go with, for critics, I'm gonna say 77.
Oh, for critics, no, I'm going to go
89.
89. What?
Damn it.
What?
You know what? I'll go 92.
What was yours, Karen?
77.
Karen's gonna take it at 70%.
Oh,
Critics consensus: while Christmas Vacation has not be the
it's one of the best.
may not be the
movies.
most disciplined
I said
comedy.
92.
It's got enough laughs and good cheer to make for a solid seasonal treat.
89.
93.
For audience, what'd you say?
93.
I won't go that high. I'll say 80.
What'd you guys say?
I said
89.
93.
93.
And I said 80.
Madison's gonna take this is 86.
Yeah.
You guys were all like in that ballpark.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
So
I won.
86%.
Karen, we both won. Come on, man.
Yeah, we're close.
You lost, Karen. Take the lost.
Why are you guys rock paper scissoring?
She said
She
two.
won overall. Why'd you say rock, paper, scissoring?
Yeah, you did say that.
I did say it.
That's,
I like said it, and I'm like, hopefully they don't catch that.
We did. Well, she did. And then I laughed like a maniac.
I said it. I'm like,
Hopefully nobody catches
I didn't
that.
want to say anything. I didn't want anybody to catch it.
Hopefully
After
nobody
I said
catches
it,
that.
I realized what I
Dude,
said.
if I'd have listened to that later on a re-listen, I would have been like, Joseph, you said scissoring.
Like cringeworthy for both of us, Joseph.
It's gonna be on Reddit.
Here's a 2-star.
We gotta collect ourselves here.
Here's a 2-star. There are a few genuine laughs to be had, but they aren't enough to make up for its late 80s paint by numbers Hollywood feel for the stomach turning
Whoa.
turkey carving scene.
What?
Paint by numbers.
Okay.
I've never seen that in another movie. Where somebody carves into a turkey and it goes...
I don't know. People are idiots. They think that if they see it, like, I see that everywhere, but like, name one place.
Yeah.
You know?
I want to know where.
Right, I'm having a hard time finding low score. Here's one. 1 star. Very dated. Did not like it at all. Okay, why?
Yeah.
I guess because it's just dated. I don't know.
Dated, I think, isn't a good enough reason.
And it's not
to
a good
say,
reason at
you know?
all. That is not a good reason.
Because
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Goddamn right.
dated isn't a good enough reason to say
Eric
you don't
doesn't
like
even
the
have to
movie.
talk at this point. He's just
Don't.
got all his little quippy comments right there.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Mm-hmm.
2 star. Much badly timed. Okay.
Much badly timed.
That's what it says. Directed and acted physical
He's
comedy.
looking
Oh,
at
much
his
badly
paper.
timed. There's a directed. Okay, whatever. Okay, we're back. Some technical difficulties. We
I
figured
pushed
it
the
out.
wrong button.
Whoopsies.
Eric's learning.
But it was
his
the right
We gave
button
him
because it
we gave
worked.
him PTSD.
It did work.
Now he's never
just
gonna
worked
touch
the wrong
keypad
way.
again.
Hey, you guys are gonna like this one. Paul Rudd was not in this movie.
Oh,
No,
Are you
seriously,
serious?
call back.
Was it meh?
No, it's Daniel K.
It's the same guy. He was always Daniel K. Because remember, we thought it was Daniel Radcliffe for a really long time.
It might be.
Probably is.
Probably is. 1 star.
Could be
Seeing
just Paul
Christmas
Rudd.
Vacation for the first time. It's terrible. It's painfully unfunny. The jokes are awful. And Clark comes off as an a-hole.
You're just thinking of him in real life.
Yeah.
Has he seen any of the other vacation movies? Because this is pretty on par.
Yeah, he's about the same.
1 star. Stressful and cringe-inducing without being the least bit funny.
Shut up.
I thought it was hilarious.
Why is it stressful?
No shit. Why are you
Buddy,
stressed
Why are you
out?
stressed out watching this movie?
He needs different hobbies.
Yeah.
Something else to
It
occupy
makes
his
my
time.
brain
I really like the part when he's in the attic and he keeps walking over the boards and hitting himself in the face. Like, you
Oh,
know
I
it's
forgot
gonna
about that.
happen,
Well,
but it's
Yeah.
still funny.
Well, then
How
he
thick?
goes through the fucking floor, and it's like, dude, just go through that hole to get out.
Well, yeah,
Right?
well,
He's
no
sitting
shit.
on the door when his wife opens the door. Like,
Right.
Why are you sitting on the door?
I
Well,
I
here's
assume
my
because it was
question.
like the one part of the attic he could sit on without going through the floor, maybe.
Well, here's my question: how thick of drywall does that have to be, where he can just walk across it? Because he's putting his foot.
Yeah,
Drywall,
he's
that's
walking
plaster.
through.
Well, plaster, whatever.
walking
He's-
through it
Plaster's
and-
pretty tough.
Well, it's lath. First of all, it's like plaster and lath.
Yeah.
You can walk on it, but when you stand on it and put your full weight on it, that's when it's going to break. I will agree that that's pretty...
Depends on how old it is, too.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Star
And most
and
of
a
that
half.
house
Because nowadays you step on your
drywall, you're going right through it.
Yeah, drywall
But-
you're going through.
I will also say, most of that house was wallpaper, and wallpaper is strong as shit. You remember try to take wallpaper off?
Yeah, you gotta steam it off.
Yeah, but not through the ceiling, though. They don't put wallpaper on.
No, you stamp the ceiling.
I have had to take wallpaper off of a ceiling
So
before.
whoever put wallpapers on the ceiling is an idiot.
I agree.
Star and a half. Love the movie. The theater seats didn't work
Wallpaper is
in
the worst
our
thing
row
ever
to
invented.
recline, which kind of...
Popcorn.
Okay, listen to this. There's a star and a half. Love the movie. The theater seats didn't work in our row to recline, which kind of put a damper on it because we went to the theater for that purpose, I bet.
Wait, so they
So
gave
they're
it a
not
star
mad-
and a half because the theater seats
They're
didn't
not
work?
mad about the movie. They're mad about the theater.
I think they're
Fuck
placing
them.
their
They said
Yelp-
they love the movie, but
yeah, I
the theater
think
sucks.
I think they're placing their Yelp review on the wrong site.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
They were
Yeah.
trying
Wrong
to go
site,
to
man.
Pee-wee-
Yeah.
They were trying to go to a Pee Wee Herman.
Half
thing.
star. I'm sorry, but this isn't a good movie. I know it's popular,
You should
but
be sorry.
this sucks.
Fuckface.
It's overrated. Not that funny. I laughed one time.
Oh, that's because you have a sense of humor. It's gotten
And you
broken
still
somewhere
laughed,
along the way.
so-
That's right. And on that note, we're done.
Fuck them. Fuck them if they can't take
Or,
a joke.
here's one more. 2-star. There are a few funny moments, but overall, it's just a generic Christmas comedy with dated gags. It's from the 80s. Of course, it's dated. Good lord.
Again, I can't stand that. It's dated. It's
Dated,
dated. Then don't
guys.
fucking watch it.
Yeah,
if you
then
want
watch
something that's
something
like
more
Come-
updated. Then
shut
watch
the
the
fuck up.
fucking Christmas Chronicles on Netflix. Because I guarantee you those movies are not better.
Which is also, I don't know, I like the Christmas Chronicles.
They're okay, yeah.
They're okay.
Yeah, they're okay. I'm not saying they're great. I liked them.
They weren't like horrible or
Russell
anything.
Crowe
They're
is
not
the
horrible.
only good part.
I don't know, I kind of like the end when Mrs. Claus shows up.
Yeah, I guess.
Because I wasn't expecting it, because she wasn't in.
Like I said, though, I don't like Goldie Hawn, so.
A way to give it away. Was trying
Everybody knows.
Some people haven't seen it yet.
There's 2 of them.
Spoiler
and it's been
warning!
Out for
Yeah,
like 3
spoiler
years.
alert. Dick.
4
Yeah,
years,
alert.
something like 3 or 4 years.
What a dick.
That doesn't mean everyone's seen it.
Or 5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
You've never seen Coraline.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
But
Neither
you haven't
have
seen
Trivia.
Coraline? Wow.
I've never seen it.
Let's just do some trivia.
Okay. The shoes that cousin. You see Coraline? Wow.
I have never seen it. So
Honest- Honestly,
so quiet.
I think the only reason I watched Coraline was because Jessica made me watch it.
Where's the aspirin?
Where the fuck is the Tylenol? The shoes that Cousin Eddie wears are the same ones that he gave to Clark as a gift in the original Vacation. After failing to get the Christmas lights to work one last time, Clark takes his frustration out on the plastic decorations in the front yard. Chevy Chase actually broke his pinky finger while punching the Santa Claus. He resorts
I think I heard about that.
He resorts to kicking and punching the decorations after that. The film kept rolling, and that is the take that was used. It was rumored that Clark's rant about his boss, Mr. Shirley, was ad-libbed.
you should read that. Go ahead. I was talking to him, not you.
But you said you should. I don't know who you were talking about.
You're nosy.
I did math.
I did math.
It was rumored that Clark's rant about his boss, Mr. Shirley, was ad-libbed. While this is somewhat true, cast members not on screen who were facing Chevy had a sign hanging around their necks that had one word written on them. Some of these were the adjectives that Clark used to describe his boss. This is the final film of Mae Questel, whose film
You got a
career
ball on your forehead. You need
It likes
another
to
one.
bounce.
whose film career began in 1930 as the voice of Betty Boop.
Dad, he's got a bigger ball than you. Sorry, go ahead.
Are you happy or are you gonna fuck me up?
I'm going to vote for the second part.
Yeah.
Do you guys know who Mae Questel was in the movie? Can you guess? Because she was the voice of Betty Boop. Anybody want to give a guess on who she was?
Was she the old aunt lady?
Well, the one that
Correct.
kept singing.
Yeah, that was her. Mae Questel. She was the,
That was just a
the
guess.
original voice of Betty Boop. Mae Questel's final performance as Betty Boop was actually just the previous year in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Near the end of the film, Rusty says, "I told you we should have gone to Hawaii." In the first National Lampoon's Vacation, when asked where in the world he would like to go most, Rusty says, Hawaii. Even before the cameras could roll, original director Chris Columbus came to the realization that he just could not work with the difficult Chevy Chase. After meeting him, so even though he desperately needed the job at that point, Columbus decided to quit the project. He was worried it would end his career, but then John Hughes brought him to direct Home Alone, which became a massive hit a year later, earning 6 times the amount that National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation did,
Way bigger hit than National Lampoon's Vacation.
with a budget of almost $10 million less. Chevy Chase asked John Hughes after Chris Columbus quit if George Ray Hill and Hughes himself all declined to direct this movie, if Harold Ramis could come back to direct the film, as he had directed the original Vacation. Ramis wanted to reunite with Chase and Beverly D'Angelo, but he was contractually obligated to co-write and co-star in Ghostbusters 2 at the time, and regrettably had to turn down the offer to direct the sequel. A deleted post-credits scene would have had the blow mold Santa sleigh that is blasted into the sky by the sewer explosion crash into Todd and Margot's bedroom roof after Todd makes a Santa joke right before falling asleep. According to Randy Quaid, many of Cousin Eddie's characteristics, most notably the clicking of the tongue, were based on a guy that Quaid knew from when he grew up in Texas years ago, who had very similar traits. When Clark and Ellen discussed their concerns over Eddie and Catherine not having any Christmas presents for their kids, Ellen says that Eddie has been out of work for close to 7 years. In National Lampoon's Vacation in 1983, Eddie mentions having been laid off from an asbestos factory, which would have taken place nearly 7 years before this movie takes place. Although Christmas Vacation takes place in the Chicago area, the movie was shot in
Hold on,
Burbank.
do you consider this a sequel?
Yeah, I would. It's
I
part.
don't.
It's part of the whole vacation.
I get that, but I don't consider it a sequel.
I would.
I think of all the movies as separate movies because there's nothing that ties them together other than Clark Griswold and those three main, like the wife, him. I mean, yeah, the characters, but they changed their actors in every movie.
But that's part of the joke. They make
Right.
it a joke in every single one of the movies.
But
Because, like, in the first one, Rusty is older than Audrey. And then in the second one, Audrey is older than Rusty. And then in this one, Audrey is older than Rusty. And then in European, he's older than Audrey. It's a whole thing. And they keep making jokes about it in every single movie. Like, whenever, like, he hollers for Rusty and he doesn't recognize him. Like, that's a joke. So I would consider them sequels because those jokes and those tropes carry on between each movie.
yeah, I don't think of them as sequels because there's no mention of the prior ones in any of them or anything like that. So,
Yeah, but I mean, I get that, but the whole, I guess the things that carry on are the jokes between each movie.
Well, in my opinion,
And
like
the fact that they made.
I feel like a sequel needs its prior movies to exist. And
The
in this
first-
case,
in the first
these
one-
movies can be watched separately without.
Well, in the first one, it had Michael Anthony Hall playing Rusty, right? And I don't remember who the girl was, but those two actors were supposed to come back and reprise their roles as Audrey and Rusty in the next one. But Michael Anthony Hall was on to something else at that point that he was contractually obligated to. So he couldn't reprise his
Probably
role.
weird science or something.
Probably, I don't know. But he was contractually obligated to something else. So he couldn't do it. So that's when they came up with the idea to have different kids for every single movie. So they are meant to be sequels. They are meant to be connected. It's just funnier that they have different kids for every single movie. That was where they came up with that idea. Although Christmas Vacation takes place in the Chicago area, the movie was shot in Burbank, California at the Warner Brothers Studios. However, for a number of the outdoor scenes, they filmed on location in Breckenridge, Colorado, because at the time of the year, they traditionally had the biggest snowfall. But when they arrived, they freaked out because they discovered there was no snow. So they had a convoy of trucks haul in snow for certain locations. As soon as they arrived, it started snowing and dropped 10 feet in 3 days. It became near impossible to actually shoot because there was so much snow. So they had to take snowcasts just to get their filming location.
It's funny because that part where he goes and kidnaps the boss and he pulls out of the driveway, you can see that is like, those are bubbles. It's foam.
Mm-hmm.
Foam bubbles.
Yeah.
So, like, because whenever his exhaust hits the bubbles, they're like,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's like you can tell they're fucking bubbles.
So the movie was based on John Hughes' short story, Christmas 59, the second vacation story to be published in National Lampoon's magazine. The first was Vacation 58, which is the basis for National Lampoon's Vacation in 1983. The Christmas story was printed in December in 1980. The label on the home movie reel that Clark found in the attic was labeled Christmas 59, a further allusion. However, when later watching the home movie, keen-eyed observers will see that it was from Christmas 1955. After cutting down the replacement tree with the chainsaw, Clark starts down the stairs and finds the newel post loose. He then lops it off with the chainsaw and announces that he has fixed the newel post. Similarly, George Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life was constantly irritated by a loose newel post at the bottom of the stairs. I did not know that. I don't think I've ever seen It's a Wonderful Life.
I don't think I have either.
Mm.
All the presents that were on the credenza when Clark went in to give his to Mr. Shirley are identically shaped, and likely the same gift. Anybody want to guess what the gift was? I've always wondered this. The gift in Mr. Shirley's office, the ones that were all identically shaped. I've always wondered.
A watch.
Anybody want to guess what it was?
A watch.
It's not a watch. It's too big.
You don't know that.
It's a stereo.
Stereo? An L-shaped stereo?
Oh, it's L shape.
Mm-hmm. They were all L-shaped.
For Lampoon. No, I don't know. What is it?
It's a desk organizer.
A desk organizer.
Everybody got him a desk organizer. When this movie came
Apparently
out...
he's unorganized.
Apparently.
When this movie came out, pen sets came in an L-shaped arrangement. The writing instruments were placed on the flat part, and the raised section held post-it notes. Paper clips and other holders were also a possibility. In the attic, Clark watches old family movies of Christmas, one of which has a man in Navy uniform. When Aunt Bethany arrives, she asks if Rusty is still in the Navy. This gives Rusty's name special familial significance since he is named after someone who served in the military. I never put two and two together. The orchestra that performed the music score was conducted by Shirley Walker. One day during the recording sessions, actor Chevy Chase was visiting the recording of the score. Some few years later, when Chase was acting and producing Memoirs of an Invisible Man, its director John Carpenter initially wanted composer Jack Nitschke to
Carpenter
score.
directed that?
Memoirs of an
Really?
Invisible Man. Yeah,
It's been so long since I've seen it. I need to watch that again.
it's been a long time for me too. He
Wonder
wanted
if it
John
holds up.
Nitschke to score it, but Chase was against it. He did remember his visit to the recording sessions of this movie, and since he was impressed by this orchestra conducted by Ms. Walker, he suggested to hire her, which they did, and Carpenter later hired Ms. Walker to score Escape from L.A. I don't normally care so much about the orchestra about movies, but that was kind of interesting to me. She got work based on Chevy Chase because usually he's a jerk. A Walmart storefront appeared in the film with an empty parking lot. At the time of the film's release, Walmart did not have their stores operating 24 hours a day. This began when the chain was remodeled a few years later and the company converted their stores to supercenters, similar to its Sam's Wholesale Club stores without the annual membership fees. In real life, the slang for Walmart is Wally World, appropriating the name for the Wally World theme park from the first film. The three bells on Clark's Santa hat suggest a medieval gesture. These gestures had often been thought to be somewhat unhinged, if not acceptable levels of mentally challenged. I didn't even put that together either.
I didn't either.
After Clark's boss asks Clark to make notes for his meeting, he gets Clark's name wrong. Clark gives greetings to the entire entourage. On the eighth person, he wishes them Happy Hanukkah, which is the eighth person, and the number 8 is significant in the Jewish religion. After Clark
A lot
Griswold,
of deep cuts in this trivia.
I know,
Like
right?
shit that's like, really? Does that really matter?
I just thought it was interesting. After Clark Griswold unsuccessfully attempts to demonstrate his handiwork with the house Christmas lights to his family, he asks Rusty to help him check all the light bulbs again. So yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. Rusty looks at his bare wrist pretending to have a watch and excuses himself. Looking at his bare wrist and pretending to have a watch is one of Chevy Chase's trademark gags. Beverly D'Angelo improvised grabbing Chevy Chase's crotch when the SWAT team holds up the house. She later said she did it on only one take, and on the off chance it was the final take, or the final film's
I did
cut.
notice that too, because I even said it during the movie. I was like, why's her hand on his crotch?
That was actually her idea, so Chevy didn't know she was going to do it, first of all, which is why his face is kind of like, So it's kind of funny to see his face in the final cut, which is one of the reasons I wonder why if they used it in the final cut is because of his face. But yeah, she just did it on a whim.
I would have let her touch my crotch.
Back then, sure.
Yeah. Not now.
When Clark's boss is kidnapped and brought into the house, Ellen says this is our family's first kidnapping. Similar to her line in National Lampoon's Vacation, this is our first gun. But didn't they kidnap John Candy in the first movie? So that's not necessarily really true. I mean, only for a couple of hours, but they still kidnapped him.
Yeah, they kidnapped him to get on the rides.
So they can't really say that that's our family's first kidnapping. I mean, sure, maybe
that's why she said it.
But it's not, though. It's not their first kidnapping.
But that's what I'm saying.
Maybe it's kind of a joke.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. All right, so the scene where the cat bit the Christmas lights cord and got electrocuted was nearly cut from the movie. Prior to the first test screening, the studio executives wanted the scene taken out, fearing that it might offend some viewers. But producer Matty Simmons begged them to leave the scene in, and they eventually gave in to his request. After the first test screening, the test audience scored the cat electrocution scene as their number one favorite scene throughout the entire movie. And that's it.
It's a lot of trivia for one movie.
Dude, that shit's funny. A lot of that stuff I thought was funny.
All right, so we're going to get back to normal next week with a regular movie out of the box.
We have normal?
Yeah, get back to some normalcy here.
Yeah, too much junk back there.
Well, I was trying to move it back so I didn't mess your Lego thing up here.
My Lego thing?
Yeah, I didn't want
That's a tree.
I didn't want to pull off a leaf or something.
Trying to fuck up your bonsai tree over there.
Yeah, thank you. It's a bonsai tree.
I didn't want to mess up the tree versus knocking something off.
Yeah, fuck
Would
that
you,
shit.
Do you want to mess the leaf
No,
up or do you want me to knock something off?
Yeah, leave my tree alone.
Yeah, see.
Fuck
The
with
Descent.
tree.
Oh, horror movie.
Oh, fuck.
Man, I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
I always try to avoid
Oh,
that
movie
movie.
fucks me up because it's tight spaces. I'm gonna pee myself.
It's a good.
It's a good movie. It's a
Movie.
really good movie.
She won't
Coming
jump, but she'll
into,
pee herself.
the new
I might
year
pee
with.
myself. Yeah.
That'd be the last movie.
That
of
might
the
be the
year.
movie where I go.
You know, that's the last movie of the year, right?
Yeah. It's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
All right, so next week we're going to do The Descent. I don't have a plot synopsis. Is that
Trying to find it.
Eric's
looking.
Because he has to see if it's streaming anywhere.
Where is it? How the fuck you spell this shit?
DESC.
No, it's DECENT.
DEC?
How'd you spell
Karen's
it,
like,
Karen?
sure.
I'm getting like the decent woman. The decent woman.
Yeah, that's not how you spell it, Dad.
CE.
Hold on. DES.
DSC.
I thought they were just spelled the same.
Right here.
Yeah. How do you spell it again?
I don't want to hear it because you were unsure of yourself.
So the
No,
only thing
it's
I'm
definitely
seeing it stream on.
DESCENT. That's 2 times I was right. You want to die on that hill too?
So I die on the hill, but your hill.
Love you, Joseph. Mean it.
The only thing I'm seeing it stream on is DirecTV. Everything else it's rent.
I own it. So it's
Okay.
good.
I don't know.
You
if
want to
I
borrow it?
own or not.
Yeah, I'll probably have to borrow it.
It's very good.
After a tragic accident, 6 friends reunite for a caving expedition. Their adventure
I will
soon
never understand
goes.
spelunker.
Yeah, the adventure soon
I
goes
don't
horribly wrong when a collapse traps
either.
them deep underground, and they find themselves pursued by bloodthirsty creatures. As their friendships deteriorate, they find themselves in a desperate struggle to survive the creatures and each other.
Listen, how do you... I think we talked about this before. You go spelunking and you get stuck. You can't move the earth. Why the fuck are you down there?
Some people do it. I used to work with a guy whose daughter used to do this shit, and he said he went one time, and he's like, it was okay. He goes, but I don't think I'll ever do it again. He goes,
No.
It gets scary at times.
Dude,
Fuck that.
I don't even like going into the
I might go into a mouth of a cave and go,
Caves.
huh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
You
this
know
is
what
cool.
I'm
I
but
don't
I'm
even
gonna
like
go.
tight spaces
the
in
Ohio
general.
Caverns. I don't even like going into the Ohio
Like, I don't like
Caverns.
squeezing between 2 people, let alone 2 rocks. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good.
You cannot move the earth.
Yeah. So,
What do you do? Pull in a crane and like
then you add
jack it up?
Then you add
You
like
guys are talking about
cannibalistic
the movie before
monsters
we
in the
reviewed
mix?
Sorry. No, the movie is really good. I will say
You've
that.
never seen it?
Mm-mm.
I'm so.
You'll like it.
There are a lot of these movies I've never seen.
I'm
This movie is
claustrophobic as
terrifying.
This
fuck.
movie came out in 2006
5.
or 2007?
2005.
2005?
Yeah.
So it's not old, but...
I think this is one of the movies
18
that you
years
told.
old.
This and Feast are the 2 movies I remember you telling me to watch, and I watched both of them. And both of them I was very impressed with.
Yeah.
But both of them, like Feast for one reason, and this one for another reason. This one
Feast was
because
just gross.
Feast was amazing.
Yeah, it was gross.
Feast
as
was
shit,
amazing.
but Feast is amazing.
Yeah, but this
Like,
one,
that was one movie that was like, I was like hardcore into like
This one-
low-budget B movies and
Feast.
shit at the time.
Feast was because of like the one guy that was like, "I'm the guy that's gonna save your ass," and,
And
you're
then he
like,
just gets
"Ha!"
shit
No,
off.
it's just in case we ever watch it.
But like Feast was one of those movies where when it came out, I was into like, I'll watch anything. I'll watch any horror movie as long as it's a horror movie.
Feast was amazing,
And that was one that I was like, oh my god, that movie should have been a fucking like.
Everybody
that
should see
that.
that
Should have
movie.
had
Everybody
a
should have
theatrical
seen that fucking
release
movie.
kind of movie. Like that
Yeah.
movie, the budget for that movie, they knew what to do with. It was
Yeah,
good.
they did.
It was
really
a
fucking
well-rounded
good.
movie.
Really fucking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, The Descent. I watched that and it literally made my skin crawl because there's parts of that movie where like they're crawling through spaces and it's just like, oh fuck you.
I need to watch Feast again. I haven't
Dude,
seen
I-
that movie in so long.
I
You
almost
guys,
picked
you're-
it for my Halloween pick.
Did you?
Yeah, I almost
I
did.
love
I'm dreading to watch this movie now.
The Descent?
I'm
Mm.
claustrophobic.
If it
as
unnerves
fuck.
you,
Yeah,
then
but-
it's good. That
okay,
means it
I will
deserves
watch
a
The
high
Descent
score.
again. One movie I will never watch again is Buried with Ryan Reynolds. I will never fucking watch that movie again.
Oh, Buried?
Buried.
Yeah.
Never. Ever, ever, ever.
Yeah.
Ever, never, 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 ever,
Is
ever,
it
ever.
bad?
It's claustrophobic as fuck. It's him in
If you ever
literally
pick
just
that out of
not-
the box, I'm excusing myself from that
it's not in
episode.
the box.
I'm just telling you, if anybody ever wants to put it in the box
I don't have
and
any
it gets
reason to.
pulled, I will excuse myself from that episode. That's a promise.
She's gonna sit over there in the corner with her earmuffs on.
No, I just won't. I'll be like, somebody else can take my place for that episode. Somebody else can watch it. And so Jeremiah can sit here.
No, Karen, that can't happen. You've been in every episode.
I will
along with
call
me.
in a pinch hitter because like
Me
I'm
and
not
you have
doing
never, Me and you have been in every single
it.
episode.
Jeremiah can sit in for me on that one. I can't do
He's
it.
got to come dressed like you then.
That's fine. I can't. He can
He's
wear my
gotta come
bras
with
and
The only
like
people
everything.
that
I
can
don't
call
care.
in
Like I
pitch
can't.
hitters is either me or Madison.
I can't do it. I can't watch that movie again. I had nightmares over that movie. I did. I can't do it. I can't watch that movie again. I
Karen's
can't.
being a bitch right now.
I will totally admit I will be a bitch over that movie. I can't watch that movie.
It doesn't
again.
matter. I don't see it getting added to the box.
Thank God. I can't do it. I can't watch that movie again.
But,
Madison, go ahead and watch Buried, and then you can tell me, like, no, I will not watch that movie again. Ever, ever, ever.
All right. Anyway, next week.
Are you assuming I've never seen that movie?
Have you seen that movie?
No.
No,
Thank you. I didn't think you did.
All right. Next week we're gonna do The Descent. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and all this stuff down here. Don't forget about the Twitter.
2 things that will make us happy.
The Instagram, the YouTubes, the Spotify's, and all that stuff. Make sure you edit and save it and give it to your friends. And oh, it's a good gift giving season, and we're the gift that keeps giving. We're like herpes.
Dad, are you gonna give him a ho 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 and a Merry Christmas?
Ho ho ho! I have a gun.
You have to do the voice. Do the voice. Do the voice.
What voice?
The Santa Claus voice.
Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas. What do you want to do? That's the best I got. I even rub my belly.
No, you gotta go deeper with the voice.
Ho ho ho! What do you want?
Just like that.
Just like that. Merry Christmas.
Wow.
That's the best I got.
I got nothing.
Anyway,
Merry
speaking
Christmas,
of which,
you
Merry
filthy
Christmas,
animals.
You filthy fucking animals, man. And we'll see you next week whenever it's no longer Christmas. And it's
we're past that. We're going into the new year, and we can go back to being our normal selves.
What is actually wrong with you?
You know him. You've known him your whole life.
You got his genetics.
Oh yeah.
Half of your genetics are his. So
I'm the reason
you
you
tell
got a
me.
good sense of humor.